Shalom, 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 shalom. Hold up, let me play the. Oh, praise to the Most High. We're live, we're live, we're live, we're live, we're live. Pardon me, I was on daddy duties, man. I was on daddy duties. But this what we gonna do. I was on daddy duties. But we're back. We're back. Torah After Dark. Let me do this. I'm gonna play the because I came right in. I didn't even play the intro. I didn't even play the intro. I didn't even play the intro. Came right in. All praise to the Most High, man. I was on daddy duties. I was on daddy duties, man, but let me do this. Let me do this. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. I was on daddy duties, y'all. Pardon me, I was on daddy duties. I was on daddy duties, man. Let me see if okay. This is what I'm about to do, right? I'm about to play the intro since I didn't play it when I came in. So that's what we about to do. Better play the intro. Welcome to Torah After Dark, where scriptures meet the real world, raw and unfiltered. This isn't your typical Bible study. We're diving deep into the Torah, the prophets, and today's world, from prophecy and exile to politics, culture, and controversy. I'm Gadol HaGadol, a Black American student of the Torah, bringing straight truth with no filters, no fluff, and no fear. We stream regularly because Torah doesn't clock out. Whether it's the law of exile, prophecy breakdowns, or what's really going on in the news, we're bringing it back to the Torah. Got any questions, topics, or want to debate live? Hit the inbox or email gadolhagadol@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to the channel, like the live, and join the membership for exclusive breakdowns, biblical challenges to Christian claims, and teachings you won't hear anywhere else. This is Torah After Dark, for the people still seeking truth, even when the world turns their lights off. Let's get into it. Okay. That's how we started off. All praise to the Most High. We back with another one. Just like the other one, man. All praises, man. We back. I was on daddy duty. I pushed it back 30 minutes, but then I'm like, I'm gonna be a little longer. So I had to push it back another 30 minutes, man. I had to put my little baby girl to sleep. But we're live. We're back. We're back for another one, just like the other one. And you know it's Smoke Friday. Smoke Friday. So if you got the smoke, let them know. If they got the smoke, pull up. All praise to the Most High. All right, let's get this thing going. Man. I got y'all up. We're going to be up a little later tonight, but it's all good. Let's see, man. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you bid the chat shalom. We're back with another one like the other one. Torah After Dark. All praise to the Most High. Let's see. We got Brianna is in the building. All praise to the Most High. Brianna is in the building. Torah After Dark. Tanika is in the building. All praise to the Most High. Tanika is in the building. Shalom, shalom, Yair Yisrael's in the building. Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Brittany is in the building. Shalom, shalom, shalom. We're getting the party started early. Y'all was early in the building. All praise to the Most High for the patience. All praise to the Most High for the patience and rocking with me, man. You know, we gotta take care of the little ones. We gotta take care of the little ones, the babies. Car is in the building. Shalom, family. Shalom, shalom to you, Car. Shalom, shalom. Wake up. I hope y'all ain't fall asleep. Y'all be trying to act like y'all old and y'all sleep early. Wake up. Joshua the Levite is in the building. Shalom. Gadar, ha, Gadar. I see you modified the time. Either way, all praise to the Most High alone. Yeah, man, I had to push it back a little bit. I was on daddy duties. Had to put my little baby to sleep tonight. It was my turn to put her to sleep tonight. Rhonda Jackson is in the building. All praise to the Most High for Rhonda in the building. All praise to the Most High. McCoy is in the building. Shalom, shalom, shalom. And McCoy says, shalom, fam. You know McCoy is a big member, a big stepper, a great one. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Yirmiyahu 1616 is in the building. Shalom, fam. And he said he got smoked this Smoke Friday. So we gonna see. We gonna see. Chief Shammah is in the building. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Chief Shammah. All praise to the Most High. I'm about to mess up that name. Chief Mikael is in the building. Mikael. I don't know why I was messing up on that. Chief Mikael's in the building. Shabbat shalom to you. Shabbat shalom to you. Chief Malak is in the building. Baruch ha-Elohim. Shabbat shalom. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. We're back with another one, just like the other one. All right, let's get this thing started. Let me remove this. Let's get this thing started. Open up with the Torah blessing. Open up with the Torah After Dark blessing, right? Baruch atah Adonai, Elohei, Avraham, Yitzchak, wa Yaakov. Blessed are you, Adonai, God of our fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You are the eternal one who reveals light in darkness, who keeps covenant and shows mercy to the remnant who seek your name. Open our hearts to truth, our eyes to see, our ears to hear the words of your Torah. In this exile, let your wisdom be a lamp to our feet and your commandments a light to our path. May this gathering bring honor to you and stir awakening among your people. Baruch atah Adonai, who gives understanding to those who seek. Hallelujah. 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 I hope you guys having a great day. It's preparation day. The Shabbat is coming up. All praise to the Most High. And for everybody that brings the Shabbat in tonight, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. All right, so let's get this thing started. We're in the book of Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 31, verse 20. Chapter 31, verse 20. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Hallelujah. Let's get this thing going. Devarim, chapter 31, verse 20. For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swore unto their forefathers, flowing with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten their fill and waxen fat, and turn unto other gods, and serve them, and despise me, and broken my covenant. Right? This always happens with the children of Israel. They get comfortable, they getting blessings, they living good, and then they always forget the Most High. And we do that now. We still do that. We get that good job. We start making good money. We get that car that we want. We get that house that we want. We living good. And then what happens? We start getting to a whole bunch of wickedness because we forget the God that blessed us and gave us those good things. We start believing in ourselves more than our God. We start feeling ourselves more than our God. We start feeling like, oh, we did this. And then we turn to get into a bunch of other things. It always happens. We get prideful. We get prideful. And this is what happened when the children of Israel was in the land. They go in the land. They getting the blessings. They getting abundance from the land. They living good. They're on top of the world. And then they always start to go after other gods. Because the pride. And this is what this text is telling us. Let's read that one more time. For when I shall have brought them into the land, which I swore unto their fathers, flowing with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten their fill and waxen fat. They living good, and turn to other gods and serve them and despise me and broken my covenant. Then it shall come to pass when many evils and troubles are come upon them, that this song shall testify before them as a witness. For it shall not be forgotten out of the mouths of their seed. For I know their imagination, how they do even now, before I have brought them into the land, which I have swore unto them. Right? So he did all these great things. He gave us this land. We get facts, we get fat, we waxed, we living good, and then we turn to these idols. And then these evils come upon us, the curses come upon us. And this is when that song that Moses gives us is going to be a witness. Because that in that song, he tells us. In that song, he reminds us. And we ignore it. And God knows this. Why? Because he took us through the wilderness. He tested us. Right? What the text says. God said he searched the heart to give man according to their doings. Right? So he searched us in the wilderness to know what we would do. And he says, for I know their imagination, how they do even now, before I have brought them into the land which I swore. So he said, what y'all do now? What y'all doing now in this wilderness? When y'all go into that land, I know y'all gonna disobey me. Because what y'all doing in this wilderness? It's the same thing we do with our children. Children flipping out, acting up in the house. I know when I take you out this house, y'all gonna flip out. So, like, I'm not even gonna waste my time with y'all. But the Most High still gave us the opportunity. So Moses wrote this song the same day and taught it to the children of Israel. And he gave Joshua, the son of Nun, a charge. This he is God. God gave Joshua his charge. God spoke to Joshua from the cloud, right? When we read up yesterday's portion, the cloud, right, what it says, and the Lord appeared in the tent in a pillar of cloud. So when it says, and he gave Joshua the son of Nun, this is God talking to Joshua. Remember, when Moses was in the tent and the cloud came, that's when Moses had the face-to-face meeting with God. Now Joshua is in the tent when a cloud comes, and God gives Joshua his charge directly. It wasn't no Moses go tell Joshua this. It's both of you were here, right here in this tent meeting. I'm talking to both of y'all. And he gave Joshua the son of Nun a charge and said, be strong and of good courage, for thou shalt bring the children of Israel into the land which I swore to them, and I will be with thee. Right? This is what God is telling. This is what God is telling Joshua. Proof that Israel did not hearken to Joshua. You're gonna come on the stage and we're gonna talk about that because it's Smoke Friday. You're gonna come on that stage and we're gonna talk about that. And that is a Torah fact. That's a Torah Fact. You gonna come on stage and we're gonna talk about that. Yazapah, shalom, shalom. Praise be to Yah alone. Big facts. LaDonna is in the building. All praise to the Most High for LaDonna. Shalom, fam with the purple hearts. Shalom, shalom. And you know LaDonna is a big member, a big stepper, a great one. All praise to the Most High. Lanier's in the building. Greetings, Torah After Dark crew. Greetings to you as well, man. Yeah, Chief Shema, this guy is out of control, man. This guy is out of control. Right? So God gave Joshua his charge. God directly. We're going to have to talk about that. And God tells him, I will be. Hold up, my bad. Let me get back over here. God tells him, right? I will be with thee. God tells him that directly. I will be with you, Joshua. And it came to pass. Why I keep hitting that button? And it came to pass when Moses had made an end of writing the words of the law in a book until they were finished. Right. So we got three things in this chapter, right? That's the Torah portion. We got three things in this chapter. Moses wrote the book of the law, right? So remember, you had the commandments that was written on stone by God, and then you had the book of the law. Two separate things. The commandments went inside the ark. The book of the law went on the side of the ark. Right? Two different things. So, and this goes against all the people that hold to the oral tradition in the Talmud. Oh, it was stuff given by God that Moses didn't write down. That's not what the Torah say. The Torah says Moses wrote all that God told him. Moses wrote all the words of God. So if you have some words that you say wasn't written down that God gave, it's not true. Because the Torah says Moses wrote down all that God gave him. So no oral tradition, no oral law came from Mount Sinai. We get that up out of here. Get that about the paint. 2, Joshua got his charge directly from God. God directly rose up Joshua to lead the people. And 3, why I named this live this tonight. When comfort breeds forgetfulness. Because we get comfortable. We get fat. We eating good. And that's when we forget God. But when we going through stuff, when we going through hardship, when we need God, we on our knees, hands up all the time. God, come on, please, God, help me out. I need you, God, please. Going through it, need you out. All the time. But when stuff going good, when life's great, no problems, we forget God. We ain't praying to God. We ain't giving God his first. Because we know there's people that only pray when they need something. That only pray, that only go to God when they're in need. You ain't pray to God all year. Now, one of your family members going through something, and you, God, please help him out, God. Please, God, help her out. Please, God. You ain't talked to God all year. You ain't thank God all year. You ain't show no gratitude to God all year. You ain't give God his glory and praise all year. But when you need something, you want to run to God. When stuff start going bad, you want to run to God. You had 6 straight months balling out on top of the world, living good, getting fat, waxing great. 6 straight months. And not once did you go to God. And this is what happens over and over and over. And this is not what we're supposed to be doing. We need to be going to God and praying to God when stuff going good, when stuff going bad. We had a great day. Hey, all praise to the Most High. Thank you. Gave me a great day. Showing gratitude. We can never forget our God. We can never get comfortable and forget God. Because remember, when it's not on your mind, when it's not on your tongue, as you rises up, as you goeth down, that sin that crouches at the door, it creeps in and it seduces you. And your hedge of protection not there because you ain't been thinking about God. You ain't been thinking about the Torah. You ain't been in the Torah. So this what this Torah portion is about. Our people went in the land, got comfortable, got fat, waxed great, and forgot their God. And God, when we read this book, we almost done with the book of Deuteronomy. We got about 3 more chapters. And over we read in this book of Deuteronomy, don't forget, take heed, remember, don't forget, don't forget, don't forget, over and over in this book, because we love to forget our God. And it's always when we doing good. I'm gonna read that part again because it's so powerful, man. The children of Israel. I'm gonna read this verse again. It says, "For when I shall have brought them into the land which I swore unto their fathers, flowing with milk and honey, and they shall have eaten their fill." They got full and wax fat. You full, you fat, you plump. Know what they say? When you start getting a little bit of money, you start getting fat because you start eating good. And you turn to other gods. And this is what happened. You start treating the money and the wealth as an image, as an idol. You start treating yourself as, you start feeling yourself too much. What you did. You ain't do that. God did that. God blessed you with that. So this is this is the wisdom we got to get out of this, man. We, as much as we pray, when stuff going bad, when we feel like we need God, when someone's sick, someone unalive, you lost a job, stuff just not going right. As much as you on your knees praying, as much as you prostrate and praying, then you need to be prostrate and praying when stuff is going good, when you're living good, when you're healthy. That's when you should be praying even. I would say you should be praying even more then, giving the glory and showing gratitude to God even more when stuff going good. Because if you don't, then stuff start going bad. God be done turned his face from you, man. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High, man. Remember our God. Shalom, fam. All praise to the Most High. There is no inside of the ark. What are you talking about, man? Shabbat shalom, lakar. All praise to the Most High. Proverbs 31 in the building. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Shalom, Kimo. How you say that? Akshav. All praise to the Most. What that mean? What that mean, Chief Malak? I got. Let me know what that mean. Gotta get my Hebrew my Hebrew lexicon out, man. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High, man. All right, so that's the Torah portion. The link is in the chat. It's Smoke Friday. If you have any smoke, come on up. Come on up. Same as today. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. Same as now. All praise to the Most High. All right, let's go. If you got any smoke, come on up. Come on up. Tag them up. It's Smoke Friday. It's Smoke Friday. If you got any smoke, come up here, Yermi Yahoo 1616. You wanted to talk, we got something to talk about. You right there. What's up? All right, and as y'all get ready, then let me end the Torah portion off. All right, because I always said we're gonna do I always said we're gonna close the Torah portion out before we start Smoke Friday. All right, let's close the Torah portion out first with the prayer, and then we're gonna start Smoke Friday. All right. I set my face toward you, Adonai, the Elohim of my fathers, to seek you with a sacrifice of prayer and truth. O Adonai, great and awesome, keeping covenant and mercy with those who love you and keep your commandments. We have sinned, we have fallen short. We strayed from your Torah, your statutes, and your wisdom. We, the descendants of those who were enslaved, scattered, and colonized, have not always walked in your ways. Our leaders are corrupt, our elders silent, and many of our people chase idols of wealth, image, and false religion. To you, Adonai, belongs righteousness and truth. To you, Adonai, belongs righteousness and truth. But to us belongs shame. In our cities, in our household, in our exile among the nations, we have discarded the words of your prophets and scribes. We have called good evil and evil good. We have neglected your appointed times, your laws, and your justice. Yet you, O Adonai, are compassionate and forgiving, even when we rebelled and refused to listen. As it is written in the Torah of Moshe, all these curses have overtaken us, but we still did not humble ourselves fully before you. So today, in the year 5786, I confess on behalf of myself, my household, and my people, we have not kept the covenant as we should, but we turn to you now, not in our own righteousness, but in your mercy. O Adonai, remember your promise, restore the name of your people, revive the remnant of Zion, revive the spirit of Zion among the remnant. Rebuild, not with brick and stone, but with repentance, obedience, and truth. Hear, O Adonai. Forgive, O Adonai. Act, O Adonai. Do not delay. For your name and your people, for your name and your people are still called by you. Amen. 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 Hallelujah. 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 All right. Shalom. Shalom.
Hey, shalom, brother.
Hey, Smoke Friday, man. Let's get into it. What you got in your mind today?
All right, before we get into Joshua, I wanted to talk a little about this idea about the side of the ark.
Okay.
So, can I share a photo here?
Yes, you can. I'll
How
put
do
it
I
up.
do
Which
that?
one?
The image that I have there, the image C9CAD. You see that? Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is based off of the scriptures in Exodus 25, right? If you go to Exodus 25, and I just assumed here, I pretended a cubit was an inch, and I tried to draw the ark as it's described. Okay. Okay. And you have this verse, Deuteronomy 31:26, which says it's the translation says put the law in the side of the ark. Okay. Now you notice here there is no side of the ark, right? It's a box. It's just a box. There's one opening, right? And what I want to what I want to submit as my theory as to what they're doing here is, if you go to the New Testament, if you go to that theology, what they say is that one set of laws was written by the finger of God on stone, and the other set of laws was written by the hand of man on paper. And they use that to then claim that demonstrates that one set of the laws is permanent and the other set of the laws was temporary, right? That's the argument that they use, right? Now, in addition to pointing out here that there is no side of the ark, so anything would go in the same container, okay? I also want to point out what I feel is a deception with this whole notion of the 10 commandments. Okay? If you let me share the other screen now, my window, I want to show you some things here that I think are really interesting. Okay, so first, I just want to highlight for us that they made a film for us to remind everybody of 10 commandments. And you notice recently in the news, they're talking about putting the 10 commandments back in the schools, right? They want to put them in the schools, and people are up in arms, right? Okay, fine. I just want to look at the 3 verses where the word 10 commandments appears, and I want to read them without those 2 words inserted and see if they make sense, if they make more sense, right? So let's start with Exodus 34:28. And he was there with Yahuwah 40 days and 40 nights. He did neither eat bread nor drink water, and he wrote upon the tables the words of the covenant. Deuteronomy 4:13. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform. And he wrote them on 2 tables of stone. I would argue that that probably says he wrote it. It should probably say he wrote it on 2 tables of stone. But now the last one here, Deuteronomy 10:4. He wrote on the tables according to the first writing the 10 command. Oh, sorry. He wrote on the tables according to the first writing, which Yahuwah spake unto you in the mount in the midst of the fire in the day of the assembly, and Yahuwah gave them unto me. So you notice they make complete sense without 10 commandments present, right? And we all know that it's not 10 of the commandments that are permanent. It's all of the Torah. It's all of the covenant. It's all of the testimony, right? And if you look here, the last one I want to show here, first you notice there's more in Exodus 20, right? It continues, right? It continues down here. You shall not make gods of silver, right? All this stuff continues. But then the verse that I want to show real quick, because I think it's really interesting, Exodus 32:15, the tables were written on both their sides. We need front and back for 10 commandments? He must have been writing really big.
So this is just your guesstimate, your theory.
Again, we know that the law is permanent, right? The Torah is permanent, right? And you can
Yes.
see by saying something else was put in the side, it implies that something is different from the entire covenant. It's the same thing. It's all the same thing. So yes, that's a theory. So I just wanted to present that to you, right? You
Okay.
can save that drawing and ponder what the box looks like. Because also notice when they tell them to pick it up and move it, there's no directions to grab the thing on the side and put it somewhere. It's
I don't.
inside the ark. It's inside
The ark was, but the ark was on a table. It was on a table, so you had stuff on a table, the sleeves. They carried the whole thing. But that's neither there or there. Let's
All right, let's
yeah.
go to Joshua. Let's go to.
I
Let's go
believe
to your
what the
man,
text saying.
Joshua.
I don't have to take words out the text to fit my theories. Okay. So let's.
Okay, I'm just saying it just appears 3 times. That's all I'm saying. 10 Commandments appears 3 times. He wrote big. He wrote big. Moses, his eyesight was going, so he wrote really large.
I mean,
10
let me ask you.
Front and back.
Let me ask you a question.
Tell me.
Is Deuteronomy, because this is about Deuteronomy 18 and 18, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is Deuteronomy 18 and 18 a good thing?
Let me pull it up.
This is a good. This is a simple question. Is it a good thing?
I don't memorize the verse off my head. Yes, it's a good thing. Yes, it's a great thing. It's going to be a phenomenal thing.
All right. So when the book of Joshua says everything, all the good things that the Most High promised them came to pass, why isn't Deuteronomy 30? I mean, why isn't Deuteronomy 18 a part of that in your estimation?
So I think this again comes back to who is being spoken to here, right? Is this statement saying that those that are present are going to hearken, or is he speaking to the nation of Israel? And is this a prophecy, right? And I was thinking, I thought your conversation with Inan, who was so delusional, was so beautiful, and I thought what you said was so great. They try to jump around, so just focus on one point.
You're not answering my question.
I just want to focus on one point. It's a great thing. It's a great thing. But I'm saying, if you look, like, this is what I would say. Speaking to an Israelite currently in the Babylonian captivity, I think it's hard to argue that the children of Israel heeded the words of the Most High and fulfilled their bargain, their part of that covenant, to this point at least.
You're not answering my question, though. I'm asking you.
It's a good thing. I said it's a good thing.
But Joshua says there was not any good thing that the Most High spoke to Moses that didn't come to pass. They said every good thing that the Most High spoke came to pass in Joshua time.
100%,
so if
those were his blessings.
If Deuteronomy 18:18 is a good thing, why would you not say Deuteronomy 18:18 came to pass during the time of Joshua?
Because I'm saying that's not, to me, this is about the end, when Israel truly hearkens. And there is no more falling away. There is no more rebellion. There is no more corruption. there is no more uncleanliness. It is going to be pure doctrine, pure Torah. And those who are at that point have made the decision to follow the Most High, right? And I feel that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's what's missing. We're not there right now. Even what we
you're
do
saying,
today.
hold on. You're saying this good thing that Moses spoke, that Joshua said all the good things that Moses spoke came to pass during his lifetime. You're saying it couldn't have came to pass simply because you don't believe it.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I agree.
So
Deuteronomy 28, 1 through 14.
give me a
Deuteronomy
legitimate
28
reason.
through 14 came true. I agree
No,
with
he
that.
said all the things. He said all the things.
But
All the things.
So I guess what we're saying is Moses is a liar then. So let's go to the Torah portion for
No,
tonight.
we're not saying I'm saying you are a
Let's go to
liar.
the Torah portion for the night. Let's go for the Torah portion for the night. Because when I said that was proof, what did he say? What did Moses say? Moses said, and Yahuwah said to Moses, actually, here's Yahuwah speaking. I'm looking at Deuteronomy 31:16. I don't know, where were we tonight? What verses did we look at tonight?
Deuteronomy 31 verses 20 through 24.
Okay, so, but before we go there, let's just back up a little bit. Look at 16. And Yahuwah said to Moses, behold, you will sleep with your fathers, and this people will rise up and go a whoring after the gods of the strangers of the land. This is not a good thing.
Exactly.
So I
That
agree.
didn't come
I
to pass
agree.
during the time of Joshua.
Exactly. But I'm saying it did come to pass. And all of these
Not during the time
curses,
of Joshua.
sure, not during the time of Joshua. Fine. But see, this is my point. So this is the verse I want to focus on. I just want to focus on one verse with you tonight.
Yeah,
Deuteronomy 34:10.
I want you to give me we gonna focus on that, but I want you to give me a legitimate reason. The text says, "And behold," let me read it. Where is that? And behold, this day I am going the way of all the earth. Consider ye therefore in all your heart and all your soul that not one thing that hath failed of all the good things which the Lord spoke concerning you, all are come to pass unto you. Not one thing have failed thereof.
Yeah, and that
And
would
it
be
shall
verse
come.
20 that you read tonight. Correct?
It says all of them.
Okay, so that when I have brought them into the land which I swear to to their fathers, that flows with milk and honey, and they have eaten and filled themselves and waxen fat. These are all the good things.
That's
Then
not
what
all the
happens?
good things. Also,
What
one
am
of
I missing?
that the prophet he would raise up to them.
Okay, perfect. Prophet. Let's go to Deuteronomy 34:10.
Go to it.
You want me to pull it up?
Or let me put it on the screen. The book says all the good things came to pass, and you're gonna tell us all the good things didn't come to pass.
I mean, we can just
Deuteronomy
look at the
30,
state of the Israelites
Deuteronomy
today.
34:10. You said 34:10?
34:10.
Hold up. I'm sorry. It says, "And there have not arisen a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face."
All right, so my translation says, since that time, no prophet has arisen in Israel like Moses, whom Yahuwah knew face to face. So I want to focus on two things. First thing, let's focus on very simple. Since.
Mm-hmm.
Since
Since when?
what time? What are we talking about here? What is this about?
The verse before.
Which is what?
And Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hand upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him, and did as the Lord commanded Moses. And there are not arisen a prophet since in Israel. Since when? Since Joshua was anointed with the Spirit.
That's really interesting because you could back up, though, to verse 7, and it's about something else. This chapter is about something else. This chapter is about the death of Moses.
It starts with the death of Moses, then it transitions to the anointing
But hold
Joshua.
on, though. So did Moses anoint Joshua before or after he died?
Before he died.
Before he died. Okay. So now Moses is dying. This is you could agree that the anointing of Joshua was done previously in Deuteronomy already. This is now just telling us again what happened, right?
Yeah, well, it happened
That's
in
nothing
Numbers.
new. It's already happened.
Yeah.
But I'm saying in terms of sequence of time, this chapter is about the death of Moses.
It starts with the death of Moses, then it transitions to the anointings of Joshua.
But was Moses alive when Joshua was anointed?
Let's just read it. And then we gonna follow the subject matter.
Okay.
Right? We can start at verse 5. And Moses, the servant of the Lord, died there in the land of Moab according to the word of the Lord. The subject matter here is what? Moses' death.
Moses is dying.
All right. And he was buried in the valley in the land of Moab over against Beth Peor, and no man knoweth his sepulchre until this day. Subject of this one. Still his death,
The
where he was buried
location
at.
of his body. Yes.
There you go. And Moses was 120 years old when he died, and his eyes was not dim, nor his natural force abated. Now it's talking about, he died in good strength. He didn't,
Mhm.
his natural force didn't subside.
Mhm.
And the children of Israel wept for Moses in the plains of Moab 30 days. So the days of his weeping, the days of the weeping of the mourning of Moses were ended. Now that verse is about the weeping of Moses. That's the context.
Still dead.
Right.
It's all about his death, his dying, his body
But
location, the mourning.
exactly, right?
Okay.
Verse 9. And Joshua the son of Nun was full of the Spirit, for Moses had laid his hand upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened to him and did as the Lord commanded Moses. What's the subject of that verse?
I have a question though. It's the transition. Who's now taking the lead from Moses,
Okay.
right?
Okay,
But
so
who?
the
Why
subject
was he
matter.
full of the Spirit? Tell me why he
Hold
was full of the
on, hold
Spirit.
on. What is the subject matter of that verse?
The person who's now leading Israel.
And
Moses is
his
gone.
anointings. His
Moses is
anointings.
gone. Yeah, he was.
Right.
He was. Yeah,
So
he
the
was anointed. So
subject
you would agree
matter.
that when did Joshua take over? Before or
Hold
after
on,
Moses died?
slow down. The subject matter of this verse is Joshua's anointings.
Correct. When did
And
Joshua
so
take over?
hold on. So the subject matter is no more Moses' death.
I disagree with you because when did Joshua take over? Before or
That's
after Moses died? Was Joshua in charge when Moses was alive?
hold
Yes or no?
on. No, but that's not the point.
Okay, so then
We're
it's the
talking
same
about
topic.
no, it's not.
As Joshua's
Hold on,
lead.
hold on. If I say Moses died, Moses died, and then I switch subjects to talk about Joshua's anointings, I'm not talking about Moses' death, and it's not talking about who was in charge first. It's giving you a build up to Joshua's anointings. This is
No,
what's
it's not. That's not
happening
what this
here.
is about. It's not what it's about.
All
That's
right, so
not true. The whole chapter is about
we're
his
gonna
death.
continue reading.
But hold on. Let me make my point here. Because listen, you agree that at Moses' death, Joshua takes charge, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so this verse here is saying to us that now that Moses is dead, Joshua's in charge. So
Yes.
until Moses died, Joshua did not have any authority, correct? So this is
Yes.
still related to Moses dying. But let's continue.
No, verses 5 through 8 are about
Okay.
Moses' death.
Again, you just
Verse
said you.
verse 9 is about the anointings of Joshua. So I'm gonna read verse 9 again. And
That's not what it
Joshua, the
says. It's not
son of
about the
Nun,
anointings of
yes,
Joshua.
it is. And
Listen, it says it's full of wisdom.
Joshua, the son of Nun, was full of the spirit of wisdom. For Moses laid his hand upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him and did as the Lord commanded Moses. The subject of this switches from Moses to Joshua. The subject matter of this chapter switches from Moses to Joshua in verse 9.
Okay, let's keep reading then.
So that's what I'm about to do.
Okay.
And Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hand upon him. And the children of Israel hearkened unto him as the Lord commanded Moses. And there has not arisen a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. The since in Israel is talking about the verse before when Joshua was anointed and was full of the spirit of wisdom. So
All
this
right, just
is
to be clear.
so
Just to
this
be
is
clear.
literal. Hold on, let me finish. Let me land it right here. So this is literally saying there has not arisen a prophet in Israel since Joshua was anointed. That's literally what this is saying. You can go ahead.
Okay. So we have two theories here. Okay. We have two theories, and I love your fan club. It's amazing. It's amazing.
There's no fan
But let's
club.
focus.
These people that
Let's
understand
just
the
focus
Torah,
because we're
man.
going to let the word speak. Okay. We have 12 verses here. 11 of them are clearly about Moses. You are arguing one of them now is about Joshua, which is fine. It is about Joshua, but it's not about his anointing. because Joshua's anointing took place before Moses died, as you said in Numbers. Moses is alive. Moses anoints Joshua as the successor. That's a different moment than this. This is now saying at the death of Moses, Joshua now fulfills that, because again, this entire chapter is about Moses' death. Every verse. Now, but hold on. Let's hold on. So Gadol's going to claim that this is about Joshua, even though every verse is about Moses' death. Now, Joshua existed before Moses died, yes or no?
Did Joshua exist before Moses died?
Yeah.
As you just asked me? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so when it says there has never existed a prophet since Moses, Joshua is
It
since
does.
Moses, yes or
It
no?
doesn't. It doesn't say that.
Well, let's go
It
back.
doesn't
Let's
say.
go read
It
24.
doesn't say
Let's
since
go.
Moses.
What do you mean? What do you mean? This verse, Moses is dead, and then it makes the statement.
It doesn't
So
say
yes,
since
it's since.
Moses.
What? Okay,
Read
so hold on. So
read
you're
the verse
saying
again. You're
we're saying
mis.
that no
Read the verse.
prophet ever arose again in Israel. Ever arose. So you're saying that's ever arose since Joshua was anointed again? You're saying?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Hold on. Read your verse.
No,
Read
no,
your
no,
first.
no, no, no,
No,
no.
no,
That's
no,
fine.
no.
That's fine.
Read your
That's fine.
verse. No,
That's
read the
fine.
verse in your
You're
translation.
obviously you're going to stick to that. That's
No,
fine.
Moran, read the verse in your translation, please. Please do it. You just read it. Read it.
Again?
Read it. Rest, please read it.
In my translation, that was New English. The one that I
Yes, read
have
it.
says,
Read it.
my translation says, since that time,
Stop
no
right there.
prophet.
It says since that time. Does it say since Moses?
Since the time of Moses'
No,
death.
that's not
Yes.
what it's.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay. Fine. 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 Okay.
That's
Fine.
not what
Fine.
it say, bro.
Fine.
We gonna read.
This is
Wait, hold on.
no,
We
no,
gonna. I'm gonna
no,
read
no,
this
no.
again.
It's fine.
I'm gonna read this again. Hold on.
Gadol,
I want.
11 of these verses are clearly about
I'm gonna
Moses'
read it.
death, and you're
I'm gonna
telling us
read it.
this is not
I'm going.
talking about Moses' death.
Hold on. I'm gonna read it. I didn't say it's not talking about Moses. Don't misrepresent me. I said most of the chapter, all of the chapter besides verse 9 and 10 is talking about Moses' death. So I'm gonna read it again. When it comes to doctrine, people act like they don't have reading comprehension. If this
No.
wasn't the
You are pretending that.
hold on. If this wasn't doctrinal, you would be able to read this and understand it. It says, and Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hand upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him and did as the Lord commanded Moses. And when you say and, that means it's continuing a thought. So the
Okay.
thought, and this thought that when Joshua is anointed and Moses put his hand on him, it's continued in the next verse.
Okay, continue.
And
Let's read the rest
there
of it the whole
have
way.
not arisen a prophet since in Israel.
Mm-hmm.
Since when? Since the time you just told us. Since Moses laid his hand on Joshua. Since Joshua was full of the Spirit.
Okay.
This is what
Okay.
it's talking about. So it's clearly saying there has not arisen a prophet in Israel since Joshua was anointed. Joshua is the one that's being called like unto Moses here. That's what this verse is saying, bro.
Okay, so I have a question then. Okay, let's continue reading. Let's read 11 through the end here.
And all
Let's
the
read
signs.
11 and 12.
Okay, let me read it. And
Yeah.
all the signs and wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land, and all the mighty hand and all the great terror which Moses wrought in the sight of all Israel.
Joshua did that stuff?
It's comparing the miracles. Yes, Joshua did miracles similar to Moses. Yes, he did.
He hold on. He did in all the signs and wonders which he sent him to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his servants and to all his land, and in the mighty hand and in all the great terror which Moses wrought in the sight of Israel. Joshua did that?
It's not saying he did those exact things. It's saying like unto Moses in all the signs and wonders. So Joshua also did signs and wonders like Moses. Like for example, did Joshua
He
split
didn't
his
do signs and wonders like
hold on.
Moses. It says very clearly nobody did right here.
Hold on. Did Joshua also split the sea like Moses did?
Well, I mean, you're talking about the Jordan.
Did Joshua also split a sea to have the children walk over on dry foot like Moses did?
Yes.
Okay, that's a miracle.
It was a river. It was a river.
That's it's still okay. Water that Joshua split.
But that's not what it's talking about.
Hold on.
It says the signs and wonders which he did in Egypt to Pharaoh into his land. That was after he came out.
It's comparing the miracles. Mm-hmm. Okay. When Moses had to have his hands up all day during the battle, did Joshua also have to rise up something so the children of Israel can get the battle and he couldn't put his hand down like Moses?
Again, but that's not what it's talking about here. It's a very specific thing that's being brought up here. Would you agree?
Yes, it's talking about look, it says, in all the signs and wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and all his servants into his land, and all the mighty hand and all the great terror which Moses wrought in the sight of all Israel. So it's saying this person like Moses, that's risen like Moses, he also did signs and wonders that's comparable to what Moses did in Egypt. It's comparing the signs and wonders, bro.
Okay, so I just want to make clear. We're on the same page then, because I just want to make clear that we agree that when it says there has never arisen a prophet like Moses, that like Moses then is defined for us here in verses 11 and 12. It's these things that is what he's referring, because obviously Moses did a lot of things, but it's these two specific things that he's referring to. Would you agree with that?
The sum of it, the signs and wonders, yes.
Perfect. Now let's focus on the second thing I want to focus on in this verse. Same verse.
Before we did Joshua do signs and wonders?
Yes, but he didn't do signs and wonders like the ones that are talked about here in 11 and 12.
All right. Did Moses?
A lot of prophets have done signs and wonders. Would you agree?
Hold on. Yes.
Moses. A lot of prophets since Moses have done signs and wonders, so that can't be the standard.
So did Moses? Moses had a whole landmass judged and punished. Did that also happen with Joshua?
Different, because that's not where they were in captivity. That's what
it doesn't have no one. When like or as does not mean exactly like. Like doesn't mean exactly. Like means similar.
But he says something very clear here.
Hold on. Do you know what doesn't play? Do you know what a simile is?
Again, but see, we're getting now.
When the word, hold on, this is what you're confusing.
I'm not confusing anything.
Let me finish what I'm saying, because it says like does not mean exactly. Like means similar.
Where do you get that? Can we look up what like means? Let's look it up.
Yes,
let's go look it up. Let's look it up, because
this guy doesn't know what like means.
That looks like good. Well, so like to me, when he says something like Moses and then gives us two specific examples that follow directly after that, that to me is very clear what the Most High is referencing. And you're agreeing it's these signs and wonders, but it can't be any signs and wonders, because every prophet, not every prophet, but a large number of prophets have done signs and wonders. Yes or no? Not
like Moses, bro.
No, I agree. This verse says nobody like Moses, and there hasn't been a single.
It doesn't say nobody. Hold on.
What are we looking at? Deuteronomy 20.
We don't know what like me now. It's crazy. Well, oh my bad. Hold up. Let me bring you back up. We don't know what a simile is now. It's crazy, bro.
I don't know why we're pretending like I don't understand why you're saying to me now, which you just agreed that 11 and 12, those examples are relevant. Do you agree?
Yes.
100%. Okay. Let's just go focus on this, because it doesn't even have like Moses, just Moses. It just says Moses. So the translation is actually Moses. There is no like. It's just Moses. That's really fascinating. Yeah. That's what it says in blue letter. It's just Moses.
Hold on, let me double check.
Okay, I think that's
really what verse is that?
34:10.
34:10.
I have it up if you want to share my screen. It's there, I think, right? No, never
mind. It is a Moses. What are you talking? It is like Moses.
It has Moses.
No, it has a prefix kaf. Prefix kaf means. What are you talking about? You don't see the.
But I'm saying, but there's no. Okay, but there's not showing any. Okay, where is the definition? There's no definition.
What do you mean? The kaf prefix means what up?
Totally fine. Totally fine. Let's just
Hold
focus.
up,
I,
man.
I
Let
think
me
we're,
show.
we're
Let me
really
hold on.
heading in
Let
a
me
great place. We're
let
going
me
in a great
show you
place.
something. Let me show you something,
We're
man.
edifying your crew, Torah in the dark. The lights are
Hold
turning
on,
on.
hold
Come
on.
on,
I'm gonna
man.
show
Why are we
you. I'm
distracted?
gonna show you. Hold on. I'm gonna show you something real fast, man. Cause you don't. You feel me? Let me show you something real fast. Hold
Moses
on.
said there would never be another prophet like unto Moses. So what do we? So
Hold on. Let me
so
show you. Let
so
me
how
show.
can
I
Joshua
want to
be
show
him,
you
Chief
something.
Shama?
I want to show you something real fast. Hold on. Let me put this right here. You see this right here, right under my screen? You see that right there?
What are you
You see
pointing at?
that?
I don't see.
That key Moshe right here?
I see Moshe. Yeah, like
Hold up.
Moses.
Oh, let me hold
Oh,
up. Let
he
me.
Moshe. I see that. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
see
yeah,
that?
yeah.
You see that
Okay.
right here?
Okay.
You see
Yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah,
Now,
yeah,
when
yeah.
you this
Is that the
this
first
pre
letter? That's the first letter.
yes, this prefix means as or like. And if you
Okay.
don't believe me,
No, no,
I'll show you.
no, 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 no.
Hold
I
on. You
agree.
see this right
I was
here?
hoping we could
Hold
have the
on. You
definition.
see this
Yeah.
right here? Calf.
Hmm.
This cough. Like
Hmm.
as. That's what that means. So it
Hmm.
does say like or as Moses in there.
Hmm.
Okay?
Hmm.
So come on, bro.
And I would
Stop
just
it.
look. I would love to look at those uses when you have some time. I don't want to get distracted and ponder. Does that mean similar or identical? But anyways, let's focus on the other word here about.
Like or as. Well, you don't know what
Fine.
else. All right, bro. Go ahead.
I want to focus on prophet. I want you to show me something that would indicate to us in the Tanakh that Joshua was a prophet as opposed to a servant. And now, all of Israel are servants of the Most High. So every prophet is a servant, absolutely. But not every servant is a prophet. And so if Joshua is this prophet, show me something that makes him a prophet.
All right, what give me something that's suitable for you that makes someone a prophet.
Well, why don't we look up what is a prophet? What do the prophets do? You tell me.
They
What
get
is
the
your theory?
word of God and give it to the people.
I disagree with you. To me, a
All
prophet
right,
is
that's
telling me
why
the future.
I asked
It's telling
you.
me the
That's
future. It's a for prophetic visions. Instructions
prophetic.
are different.
So
Like
it
for
tells the
example, the
future.
tabernacle's instructions. It's not although there is prophecy in the
All right,
tabernacle.
so if I give you Joshua giving the prophecy, you would that makes him a prophet.
I want to see a prophecy. Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go like this is crazy. We got people questioning Joshua. The Most High said there would never be a prophet like unto Moses. Give me that verse,
That's not
priest Shama.
no, that's not what it says according to Gadol.
Yeah, give me that verse. I don't recall where Most High said there would never be a prophet like Joshua. I mean, like Moses.
Because I want to go, if you can go to
Um,
Joshua 24, 24, 29.
are you go to? I'm about to pull this prophecy that Joshua gave.
It says, and it came to pass after these things that Joshua the son of Nun, the servant of Yahuwah, died.
Moses is called the servant of Most
But
High
there's
too. So
clear references to Moses being a prophet, as we see in
all right.
Deuteronomy
So
34.
what I'm going to give
He's
you a
called a
prophecy that
prophet. He's
I'm
called
going
a
to
prophet by God. You
I'm
agree?
going to give you a prophecy that Joshua gave. Hey, 1 second. Let me grab it.
Does he ever call him his prophet?
So you have to be called a prophet to be a
Well,
prophet
no,
now.
I'm interested to see what you're going to pull up. I'm
No,
interested
no,
to see what prophecy you're going to pull up.
no. Joshua is not called a prophet verbatim in the text anywhere.
Ever called
But
it?
if
So
he
he's just to be clear, he's never called a
no,
prophet.
no, he's not.
Interesting. Okay.
So you want a prophecy that Joshua gives, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna give you
That's a
one
new
right
prophecy,
now.
not restating something Moses told
I'm gonna
us.
give it. We're gonna go to the book of Joshua.
All right.
All right, we're gonna go to the book of Joshua, chapter 3, verse 9. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, come hither and hear the words of the Lord your God. Right. So Joshua's about to get him the words of the Lord, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me share my bad. Let me put this on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And Joshua said unto the children of Israel, come hither and hear the words of the Lord your God. And Joshua said, hereby ye shall know that the living God is among you. He will not fail to drive out from before you the Canaanite, the Hittite, the Hivite, the Perizzite, and the Girgashite, and the Amorite, and the Jebusite. Behold, the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth passes on before you over the Jordan. Now, therefore, take you 12 men out of all the tribes of Israel, for every man a tribe, and it
This is
shall
not
come
prophecy
to,
anymore. It's
and it
instructions.
shall,
It's
and it
instructions.
shall come, and it shall come to. Can you? And what does it mean? And it shall come to pass.
It's instructions. These are instructions. He's saying
Instructions
you're
from
going to
who?
walk over here. When you touch your feet over here, this is what's going to happen.
Instructions from who?
Instructions from God.
Okay. And it
I'm
shall
saying
come.
Hold
on.
There's no prophecy here.
Listen. What does it mean? And it shall come to pass. What does that mean?
Do A and B will happen. Like,
okay.
When you shall come to pass. Is going to happen.
And it shall come to pass. Is this talking about a future event?
It's telling them instructions that they need clarification because when they get
to water,
no.
He told them to do something, and he said, "When you do this, this is going to come to pass." So he gave them instructions to do something. Then he said, "When you do this, this is going to come to pass." This is a prophecy. It says, "And it shall come to pass when the soles of the feet of the priests that bear the ark of the covenant of the Lord of all the earth, shall rest in the waters of the Jordan. And the waters of the Jordan shall be cut off, even the waters that come down from above, they shall stand up in one heap." Is he prophesying that the waters of the Jordan would be split?
I'm saying, so I just want to be clear. So Joshua's one prophecy that makes him a prophet.
Is he prophesying? Yes or no?
He makes that then comes true within, what do you think, within the hour? Is that what you would assume?
Is this a prophecy? Yes or no?
No,
bro?
I don't think this is a prophecy. This is instructions.
He's
telling them what to do.
So he told them what to do, and then he prophesies that when they do this, this is going to happen. That's not a prophecy.
Again, your one prophecy example for Joshua is a prophecy that happens 30 minutes later.
All right.
Look at 13.
So you don't accept that. You don't accept that.
Well, first of all, let's back up because
hold on.
10. Let's
it doesn't matter
10 because is verse 10 a new prophecy or restatement of Moses'
prophecy? I wasn't talking about verse 10. I wasn't talking about the parasites. I didn't mention that.
Again, what you're saying is that
hold on, bro. I didn't mention about the parasites and the Girgashites because I already knew you was going to say Moses already prophesied that. So I didn't even mention that one. So don't try to go to that one like I mentioned it. I'm talking about when Joshua literally just prophesied that the Jordan River was going to be split. And you're trying to tell me that's not a prophecy. So if that one doesn't work, that's fine. You do hold to the Apocrypha, don't you?
Hold on. One second.
I'll hold on. Answer my question.
One second, but hold on, because I just really want to focus on this because I think it's so
hold on. You can speak, but yes or no, do you hold to the Apocrypha? This is just a quick question.
It depends. It depends. I can't answer that black and white. It depends.
What book in the Apocrypha do you hold to?
It depends. I don't even hold to everything in every book. I can't make a black and white statement like that. You have to show me what it says. You have to show me what it says.
So the Tanakh and the Apocrypha is pretty much the same thing. You don't hold to everything in all of it, correct? It's the same thing.
I'm saying that as Jeremiah 8:8 clearly tells us, man's fingerprints are over all of the books. All wisdom comes from God, and God can't contradict.
If I pull a text out the Apocrypha, it's the same thing if I pull it out of the Tanakh. It depends on what it says, right? It's the same thing. That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
All right. So go ahead. I'm going to pull the text out the Apocrypha.
But hold on. I just want to emphasize that this one prophecy, this is your only example, starts with clear instructions.
No, it's not the only one. I can give another one that Joshua.
It's the only one.
It's not the only one. It's not the only one. All right. So that's already one he's rejecting, right? I'm gonna give you another.
No, I think. Listen, it's fine because I think. Listen, you're making a point. You're trying to argue that it's Joshua, and I think that's fair. I'm going to show you what this is actually talking about and how much better my interpretation fits than yours. And I think we should be honest. We should put it on the table and see which of these makes sense. Which of these feels like the Most High God, right?
All right, I'm gonna hold up. I'm gonna just get to this clean one real fast. I'm gonna get to this.
Joshua was chosen by God to do a job. Amen. He was his servant. He was not a prophet.
All right, I'm gonna go to Ecclesiasticus 40:46-1. It says, "And Joshua the son of Nun was valiant in the wars, and he was the successor of Moses in prophecies."
I wouldn't. So again, show me a prophecy. Show me a prophecy.
I can't do this, bro. I can't do this,
But see,
bro.
that's the thing. But see, hold on.
I can't
So
do
now
this.
you made your points.
You
made your points. You made your points. I appreciate that you made your points. Okay.
So I give him a text that literally says Joshua was the successor of. Hold on. I give him a text that literally says Joshua was the successor of Moses in prophecies. I give him a text where Joshua literally prophesies the Jordan River will be split. I give him these things, and it's still not enough. Like, what are we doing? You just not going to accept nothing, bro. Just
that's fine.
Get to your point,
you're not going to accept what I'm going to show. And I just want to say that. So even though I'm going to show you right now that the correct interpretation of this verse makes so much more sense than your interpretation, you're not going to accept it either. So I want you to ponder that, right? And I hope the people in the crowd, listen, the word of the Most High should speak for itself. So let's take a look. As you said, this prophet is referred to like Moses based on verse 11 and verse 12. And it says, no prophet who did all the signs and wonders that Yahuwah sent Moses to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his officials and all his land.
Where are you reading from? Where are you reading from?
Deuteronomy 34, 11 and 12.
What translation? Where it says no prophet?
What translation? The translation
put that on the screen. Because I don't know where it says no prophet. It don't say that.
Translation, it is.
And I would, and I don't. It don't say that it would never arise a prophet, and that's not what Deuteronomy 34 says.
Deuteronomy Standard Bible is the translation. Okay.
Oh, so
hold on. Let's go look at it different.
He hates the Christians so much in the Christian Testament, but he's literally reading Christian translations. But listen,
all of these translations.
Listen what it says. I'm going to read Deuteronomy 9 and 10 verbatim.
9 and 10, 34, 11 and 10, 12.
I'm reading Deuteronomy 34, 9 and 10.
That's not what I was reading. I was reading 11 and 12.
I'm going to read it because I'm responding to this where it said God said he would never arise a prophet like Joshua. I mean, like Moses. It doesn't say that. It says Joshua the son of Nun was full of the spirit of wisdom, for Moses had laid his hand upon him, and the children of Israel hearkened unto him and did as the Lord commanded Moses. And there have not arisen a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses. When the word since, this word, it means it's talking about a time period. It means it's pointing to a specific period in time. And the period in time that it's talking about is literally the verse before.
No, it's not, because that's Numbers 27.
That's great. When Joshua, what's Numbers 27?
That's when he's anointed.
This is talking about. This is pointing to.
There's chapters about Moses'
Hold on. This verse 9 is pointing to Numbers 27. This is a recap of Numbers 27.
No, it's not. It's a recap of Moses' death and Joshua taking over after Moses' death is part of that. This verse has nothing to do with Joshua.
Verses 5 through 8 accounts the death of Moses. Verses 9. No, verses 9 points to when Joshua was anointed. You cannot erase that this verse is talking about when Joshua was anointed. You guys keep trying to skip over that. If verbatim goes to, okay, now I'm going to tell you about Joshua and his anointings. This verse clearly talks about that.
When did Joshua
get you to keep ignoring?
When did he get his power? When did he get put in charge?
In
Numbers 27 or Deuteronomy 34? Which one?
Numbers 30, Deuteronomy 34 is a recap of Numbers 27.
My question. I just want you to answer my question, please, Gadol. I answer all your questions. When did Joshua take his When did Joshua take his post? In Numbers 27 or Deuteronomy 34?
Numbers 27 and Deuteronomy 34 is the same thing.
Moses died when he anointed him and died.
Oh my goodness, bro!
Is that what you're saying?
Do you know what a summary is? Deuteronomy 34 is a summary. The whole book of Deuteronomy is a summary of what we read in Exodus and Numbers.
Okay,
it's a summary. This is the 40th year. Hold on.
Same time.
This is no one's saying it happened at the same time, bro. Deuteronomy 34 is a summary and a recap of events. It's
I don't know why
telling
you're
you,
getting upset. I'm just
it's
asking a
telling
fair
you
question.
Moses died, he was buried, Joshua was anointed to be the next leader. This is the summary of
Because
Deuteronomy
Moses
34.
died. So just to be clear, Joshua takes his charge in Deuteronomy 34, not Numbers 27. But now,
No, Numbers
okay,
34 is the hold on. So, hold on. Are you telling me in Deuteronomy 34 and 9, Moses is dead right there?
Moses
Moses is not.
dies. Moses
No,
dies.
is and it says Joshua the son of Nun was full of the Spirit, for Moses had laid his hand upon him. This is
No,
pointing to no. Hold on. This is pointing to Numbers 27. Let's go back to Numbers. Let's go to Numbers 27, bro.
again, because
Hold on.
that's
Let me read. Let me
how
read. Let me
Joshua
read. Let
took
me read.
over
Let me
when
read. Hold
Moses
on. Hold
died.
on.
Would you
Let me
agree?
read. Let me read Numbers 27, because you're not being honest.
How am I not being?
Deuteronomy 34 is referring to Numbers 27. In the verse 18, and the Lord said unto Moses, take Joshua the son of Nun, a man who is spirit, and lay thy hand upon him. Numbers 34 is talking about this instance right here.
Okay,
Talking about the
can you show me
same
where he
thing.
dies? Moses dies in Numbers 27.
Numbers 27 is the oh my god, this dude is Numbers 27 is the live action events. Deuteronomy is the recap. Deuteronomy is at the end of the wilderness in the 40th year. And he's telling, and
Okay, so
they're going through everything that happened. It's a recap. It's not. What are you talking? Just oh my god.
maybe I can restate it because I think you're missing my point and you're not addressing it, which I'm not
Oh
sure
my
I'm following.
goodness,
So I'm
bro.
going to
This
restate it one more
guy.
time for you. I'm not disagreeing with what you're saying. This is what you do all the time, Gadol. You move the ball. You're not addressing my point. My question is very simple. When did Joshua take charge of the children of Israel? Is it in Numbers 27 when he's anointed, or is it in Deuteronomy 34 when Moses dies?
It's
These
neither
things
one.
didn't happen at the same time.
Joshua
It
took Joshua took
hold on.
charge in Joshua chapter 1.
No. When Moses dies, Joshua takes control. While Moses is alive, Moses was in charge. Do you disagree with that?
Yes, and Joshua takes
Okay.
charge in Joshua 1. Deuteronomy 34 is just a recap of events.
Okay, fine. But again, so just to be clear, the reason that verse is present in Deuteronomy 34 because Joshua's watch begins when Moses dies.
But
So it makes
it
complete
doesn't
sense
start
for
in
it
the
to be
book of
there.
it doesn't start in the book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, Moses is still alive. Joshua doesn't take over till Joshua chapter 1. Book Deuteronomy 34 is just a recap of events, bro.
Moses dies. What are you talking about? It says we don't know where his scepter is. What are you
It's
talking about?
documented his death. It's just a recap,
And so
bro.
who's documenting that? Moses?
Oh my goodness. All
Okay,
right,
so
just go
hold on.
ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
so we got it. So let me just make my point, and we can agree to disagree. But I want to make my point.
I want you to prove your point too.
I'm going to prove my point. Okay, and you're not going to agree, but hopefully somebody who's listening it'll resonate with them because this is a fact. This is a Torah fact. But can you play it for me before I do it?
That's a Torah fact.
Hallelujah. All right. So look, like Moses, and then we're told verses 11 and 12. No prophet who did all the signs and wonders that Yahuwah sent Moses to do in the land of Egypt to Pharaoh and to all his officials and all his land. And no prophet performed all the mighty acts of power and awesome deeds that Moses did in the sight of all Israel.
That text don't say that, bro. You got to get out that translation. That must be a thought
Oh
for
my
thought translation or
goodness,
something.
bro. What are
That
you
text does
talking
not say
about?
that, bro.
Can you
That
read it?
text
You
does
read
not say
yours.
that,
Read
bro.
yours. Read yours.
It says, and there have not arisen a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face, and all the signs and wonders which the Lord sent him to do in the land of Egypt, and to Pharaoh, and to all his servants, and to all his land, in all the mighty hand, and in the great terror which Moses wrought in the sight of all Israel.
Okay, so but you would so it's interesting because you took an issue with the translation. And all that translation is doing is just bringing that opening preface to each verse. There arose not a prophet who did all the signs and
No,
wonders.
you're skipping. No, you're skipping. It
No,
says there arose
and
not a prophet since. Since is pointing to a time, please. Since. And it's saying
okay,
since
I don't want to get
Joshua
back. I don't
was
want to get back on
anointed.
that. Okay, got it.
Joshua
Got it.
is the
Okay,
one, bro.
since Joshua was anointed, and he did
Thank
one
you.
prophecy and nothing like that's described here in 11 and 12. But can we
He
go
did.
to Can we go to Jeremiah 16, 14 and 15, if you don't mind?
Jeremiah 16 and 14. Put it on your screen. I could just put your screen up.
Okay. Here, I put my screen up here. I'll do it. Bam. All right. Therefore, behold, the days come, says Yahuwah, that it shall no more be said that Yahuwah lives that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. So this verse is very clearly telling us that there's a time coming in the future that we're not going to identify the Most High by the first Exodus. You agree that that's what this says?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now notice in the Torah, how do we refer to the Most High? What do we say about him constantly? Don't we give glory to what he did to the Egyptians for us? Right?
100%.
Okay, constantly, right? It's a constant theme. Okay, but this verse is very clearly telling us that a day is coming where we're not going to identify the Most High by this. What are we going to identify him by? Verse 15. But Yahuwah lives, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into the land that I gave to their fathers. So I want to ask a question. How is this 15 going to happen?
Well, if you're asking me, I think Michael's going to be the one to do it.
An angel's going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but somebody's coming to do it, right?
I don't think a human person is going to be doing it.
But when you say he's going to do it, is he going to stand in front of a Pharaoh-like person, just like Moses did, or no?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, so I just want to show us something here real quick. If we go to Daniel 8:23 through 8:25, and this chapter is about the end of the world. It's about the fourth beast, right? It's about the beasts. Okay.
No, it's not.
I know. We're going to pretend this is Alexander the Great. I know the
Bro.
Christian theology. I know.
It ain't no Christian. Daniel 8 is not talking about the end of the world, bro.
Can we go over here and say right here? I just want to look at Daniel 8:25. But first, let's look here. First, we have this king of fierce countenance, right? A king of fierce countenance. So let's read this, actually. Let's just read Daniel 8:23. And this is, you shouldn't feel bad. Actually, I'm going to extend this for a little bit. To make you not feel bad. Because over here, you see where it says over here? But
can we start
at
verse 20?
Can
we start at verse 20?
But none understood it. So don't feel bad. I don't want you to feel bad.
Can we start at verse 20?
Nobody understood it. Okay, let's start at verse 20.
Start at verse 20.
Okay. The ram which thou saw having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia, and the rough goat is the king of Grecia. The great horn is the one between his eyes, first king. Now that being broken, the four stood up. 4 kingdoms shall stand up out of the nation, but not in his power. Okay, so where are these 4 kings standing up? From out of what? Out of where?
So hold on, let me ask you this question: the kings of Media, Persia, and Grecia, did that happen in the history of Israel?
Yes, they did.
So why do you think this is talking about the future?
Well, we got to keep reading. I didn't say. Did I come to here and say this is the future? Is that what I said? That's not what I said.
It's talking about the same thing. Bro.
I said this is the future. No, let's keep reading. When you say that, it's really interesting. So we talk about these rough goats. Okay, now that being broken, that being a reference to this.
Let me put some at the top right here. Look at this. Let me show y'all something. Let me show you something.
Torah After Dark, guys. Christian theology. Here we go.
Ain't no Christian theology.
Oh my goodness, we're even going to the maps over there too. Wow, guys.
I did a whole PowerPoint. I did a whole PowerPoint. Hold on. I did a whole PowerPoint on Daniel 8.
Take it back.
I did a whole PowerPoint on Daniel 8 showing who's the he-goat, who's the ram, who's the 4 horns. I did a whole PowerPoint.
That means you're absolutely correct, and there's no way you could be wrong. Absolutely correct. That PowerPoint is the truth. We should just shut it down. We should shut down all conversations. We should just, anytime somebody has a question about Daniel 8, we can send them Gadal's PowerPoint and everyone will be happy.
Yeah, you should, because that's the correct understanding, bro.
Okay, cool. All right, so humility is important, my brother. See, this is the thing, like, that's how I got from an atheist to a Freemason to a Seventh-day Adventist to a Messianic Jew to now following only the Most High and the Most High only, and being able to reject nonsense that even appears in the Tanakh.
No,
But
you know
because
who you follow?
I'm okay
You
saying that
you
I'm wrong.
you follow your own mind.
Sure.
Whatever
My
makes
own mind
sense
has
and
brought me
whatever
here. Okay.
doesn't, bro.
So
Yeah,
let me say
because you're
this. Let me
going
just say
you're
this.
going
Okay.
to Daniel 8 trying to tell us this is a future when a chapter literally tells you is about the kings of the Medes, the Persians, and the Greeks.
Okay. So I want to ask you this. So if this already happened, as you claim, help me understand when this verse happened right here. What is this talking about? Who is the Prince of Princes? Who stood up against the Prince of Princes?
The
And
Prince of Prince,
explain to me how they were broken without hand.
the Prince of Princes is the high priest. They went into the land, stood up against the Prince of Princes, and how he was broken without hands. Antiochus Epiphanes, he died not in war. He died from a sickness in the book of Maccabees. His intestines literally fell out and he died over. That's how
So
he was broken without
your
hands.
source
No
for
man,
this.
no, I wasn't finished. No man unalived him, no man unkilled him. The book tells you the most high God plagued him and he died. He was broken without hands.
Interesting. How was Pharaoh broken without hand?
Does the text say Pharaoh was broken without hands?
Yes, it
Does
does.
anyone show me in the Bible where it says Pharaoh was broken without hands?
Well, so what does broken without hand mean to you?
I don't want to
Let me
show
ask you
me
that.
in the text where it says
I'll show you.
Pharaoh was
But first, we
broken
should
without
answer.
hands.
Let me ask you the question. What does broken without hand mean to
Show
you?
me in the text where it says Pharaoh was broken without hands.
What does broken without hand mean to you? Why can't you answer that
Show
question?
me in the. I literally just
Why can't
explained
you
how.
answer that question?
I literally just explained how Antiochus Epiphanes was broken without hands. I
So what does
want
it
you to.
mean? So why can't you
I
answer the
want you
question and say what it
because
means?
I want you to honestly tell me: is there anything in the text that says Pharaoh was broken without hands?
Yes.
Okay, pull it up. This dude, I don't understand. He's going to Daniel 8 trying to say it's the future.
Again, so it's amazing that you wouldn't even let me say what I want to say, but okay.
No, I'm letting you
Mock
say
it,
what you want to
scoff
say.
at it. I can't wait till the Most High makes you apologize to me. And I'm going to say, listen, it wasn't me. It was the Most High trying to wake you up. But it's okay. Don't worry. It's fine, man. Most people, I tell you this, as you can imagine, most people don't believe a word that I say. Totally used to it.
I
But
think
the
you say
truth
a
is
lot of
not
good things.
determined. The truth is not determined by people's opinion, brother.
You
It's
like the
not.
Sour Patch Kid. Some you good and then you're sour.
I'm
you
not.
say
Let me tell
you
you
say
this.
some good things and then you say some wild things.
Let me tell you this. Okay. Let
I'm
me
just
tell you this.
I'm just waiting for
So,
you to send me the text that says Pharaoh was broken without hands.
but hold on. Again, so to me, broken without hand means it was the hand of the Most High. So if you want the verse, let's go to Exodus 13:3. You
And
want
it's
me to
gonna
show
say
it?
Pharaoh, and he's gonna say Pharaoh was broken without hands.
It's going to show you that God did it. That's what
I'm
without
not
hand
I'm
means.
not
Hand.
I'm not
What does
asking
hand
you
mean?
I'm not asking you about that. I'm asking you, is there a text that says Pharaoh was broken without hands? Yes or no?
How do you understand what broken
All you
without
have to
hand
do
means?
is
Why
just
can't you answer that question?
remember you was telling me about the pride and be humble.
It's not.
Is
But see, it's
is a
funny that you
yes or
say
no
that.
question?
Okay. So can we go to Isaiah 11:11?
Now look, now he want to jump to Isaiah
It's
11,
not because
11.
it's all the same idea. Let's go. Okay, let's go to Daniel chapter 2. Let's go to Daniel chapter 2. Same idea, same vision. Daniel chapter 2. Can I pull up my
So
screen?
hold on. So you're not going to admit that there's no text that says Pharaoh was broken without hands?
That's not what I'm going to do at all. I'm going to show it to you.
He said that's not what I'm going to do at all. He's not going to tell the truth. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Moran, I like you, bro. But remember I was saying the Christians jump all everywhere. We in
How?
Daniel 8.
So what does precept upon precept mean to you? How do we know without hand means? Explain
Do
that to me.
you know the Bible says precept upon precept makes you fall back and be broken and snared? Precept upon precept is not a good thing.
Okay, so hold on.
This is why you're broken and
Okay.
snared.
Okay.
The
Okay.
text
Hold
literally
on.
says
Okay.
you teaching people precept upon precept and you're making them fall backwards, be broken and snared.
Okay.
That's what the
Here we
text
go.
says.
45. Daniel 2:45. You want me to read it or should I read it?
You can read it. You got it, bro.
For so much as you saw that the stone was cut out of the mountain without hands.
Who's the
What
stone
does that
right there?
mean?
It
What is
means
that? What
that
does that mean?
the stone
What
is
does that
God's
mean?
king. The stone was God's kingdom. God took he's metaphorically talking about his kingdom as a stone, and that stones get cuts out, and then it grows to fill the whole earth. That's what they're
Now,
talking
hold
about.
on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's interesting that you skipped this whole part of it.
Yeah.
What does the stone do that was carved without hands?
Oh, I wasn't. It destroys the kingdom. I wasn't talking about that. I just saw
It
the stone.
destroys the kingdom.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But hold
very
on.
interesting. Hold on,
Who's
hold
the,
on,
who's
hold on,
the
hold on.
okay, go ahead.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold
What are
on,
you
hold
doing,
on.
bro? You
Hold on, hold on, hold on.
this dude really hold on. I'm about to pull this up. I'm about to show them what you're doing. The Bible condemns what you're doing. I'm about to show them
What
what
does
you're
this
doing.
say? What does this say?
By the strength of the hand of the Lord, you brought out from this place. There shall no leaven bread. What are you talking about?
So
How does that connect? How does that connect to
how were
that?
we brought out of Egypt? Very simple question. How were we brought out of Egypt? Was it
By the
man's doing? Was it by the hand of
by,
the Most High?
by the outstretched arm of the Most High. But what
By
does
the
that have to
outstretched hand
do?
of the So that's not man's hand. So that's without
But
hand.
okay, but
It's man.
what does that have to do with Isaiah,
Okay.
Daniel 2?
What does that have to do? Because all of this is the same prophecy. What does this say?
Well, oh my,
What
wait,
does this
stop right
say?
there. Hold on,
What
hold
does
on,
this
hold on,
say?
stop. Hold on, hold on, hold on,
What
hold
does
on,
this
hold
say?
on. Hold on.
What does
You are
this say?
connecting Daniel 8 to Daniel 2 to Isaiah 11 to
Yes, all
Exodus.
end time prophecy. All end time prophecies. Isaiah 11:11, end time prophecy. How do you
Hold on,
know?
hold on.
How do
Let's
you
deal
know?
with one.
Let's continue.
Let's hold on, hold on.
Let's look
Let's
at the
deal with
whole
one at a
verse.
time, bro. Because
Okay, cool.
your whole thing is off. Daniel
What is
8
this?
is not an end time prophecy.
Oh my goodness.
Daniel 8 is not an end time prophecy.
According to
You're
Gadol.
let's go. Hold on. Let's read Daniel 8, bro. Let's read Daniel 8. We like to read in here.
Mm-hmm.
We like
But so hold on. But I just want to
we
emphasize one thing before we go anywhere, because your source of truth here to argue that I'm wrong is the book of Maccabees.
no, it's not. It's the
Correct?
book of Daniel. I'm just reading the book of
No,
Daniel.
no,
The
the book of
book of
Daniel doesn't say
Daniel.
anything
The
about
book. Let's read
Antiochus
it.
being broken without
Oh,
hands. This is a history of
we don't even
Maccabees.
have to mention all that. We're gonna read Daniel 8.
Okay,
The
cool. Let's
ram
read it.
that thou sawest having two horns are the kings of Media and Persia. Did the Medes and Persians reign in history
Yes, they
already?
did. Yes.
And the rough he goat is the king of Greece. And the great horn that is between his eyes is the first king. Now, in this chapter, this ram and this he goat fights each other. In history, did the Medes and Persians and the Greeks fight each other?
I'm not arguing that that's not what I'm saying is
Is a
end time
yes or no
prophecy.
question?
So
Is a
sure,
yes or no?
fine.
Okay,
Fine.
great. And as for much that which was broken, in the place thereof four stood up. Four kingdoms shall stand up out of that nation, but not with his power. These four nations, don't they stand up out of this kingdom of Greece?
It's very interesting that you say that. What do you
Yes or
know
no,
about
bro?
What do you know about Freemasonry and
Yes
their
or
love for
no?
Greek
Does
culture? Yes.
according to these
Yes.
chapter, does
Yeah,
these
it's the
four
same.
kingdoms? All right,
Mhm.
in history, has four kingdoms risen out of Greece?
When you say that, like, so when you say history, so whose history are you referring to? Man's history? Because I can't go to that as a
Oh my
source.
goodness, bro!
I
This
can't
guy
go to that as a source. I can't.
in
I can't.
history,
And
in
you shouldn't
history,
go to that as a source. So show me in the
in
Bible where that.
bro.
So
I'm
show me that.
asking you, in
Show me that.
history, in
Show me that.
history. So you don't hold to no history that's not in the Bible.
Absolutely not. And you shouldn't either. And that's why you're
Yeah, and
confused.
I can't talk.
That's why
I
you're
can't talk to
confused.
you, bro. I can't
Okay,
talk
hold on.
to
I
you,
have a
bro.
question.
I
What?
can't
Hold
talk to
on.
you, bro.
What was the original?
So
What
let me ask you
happened in
this
the
question.
garden?
Let me ask you
It's
this
amazing that I
question.
haven't been able to make my point still. You went on
Hold
this
on,
tangent because
because
you don't want
you're
to argue. You
jumping
want to
all
pretend
over. You're
without hand.
jumping all
No,
over
because
everywhere.
you want to say
Hold
without
on.
hand
Let
isn't
me
like
ask you this
me.
question. Let me ask you
That's
this
why we're
question.
over here.
Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this question. Do you celebrate Hanukkah?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Does the Bible talk about the Greeks and the Persians?
Yes.
Where at outside of Daniel?
Uh, I don't know if it's outside of Daniel.
Okay. Does the Bible talk about Rome, the Roman Empire?
I'm sure they want you to believe that because they want you to think
It's
the
a
second
yes or
temple was
no.
destroyed by Rome, but I
It-
don't see Rome in the. I don't see it.
All right.
Where's Rome? Where's Rome?
Did Rome is Rome historical? Is the Roman Empire historical?
I have no way to attest to that.
So you don't know if the Roman Empire is historical.
You're asking me to say, is the place that the world calls Rome currently, is that historical? How could I attest to
No,
that?
I'm
What would be
asking you,
my...
did the Roman Empire exist in history?
Yes. Yes, I
How do
would
you
agree.
know
The
that?
Persian Empire. Well, actually, I don't know if I could say that. I don't know. I'd have to look to see if there's anything about the Roman Empire in the scriptures. I don't know. I can't answer
Bro.
that question. I can't answer that question.
Yo, this is wild, bro.
Why is that
This is
wild? I don't understand. What
wild,
is the
bro.
source
It's
of
not
truth,
no,
Bilal? What is the source of
because
truth? What's our source of truth?
what do you mean
What's our
what's
source of
the
truth?
source? I don't know
What's
what you're
our
talking
source
about
of
the source
truth? Is
of.
our source of truth man's history, or because
I
man's
use
history tells
I
us
use I use
JC lived?
I use
Should I
Bible.
believe it?
I use Bible.
History
I
pretends
use
Muhammad
history,
lived. You
bro.
can't. You can't. And that's
If
why you're
if you're go-
confused.
if you're rejecting all history, anything, if you're rejecting everything that you only thing you accept is what you made up in your mind, and
It's
then
not. It's
you
amazing that
can't
you say
talk to
made up in my
nobody like
mind,
that.
even though we can clearly see that
All right, so
Daniel
this
2
don't.
is about the end of the world, broken without hand. We clearly see references to God's hand breaking Egypt. We clearly see references to God's hand doing it again in the future, stretching forth his hand. How do we pretend that I'm like coming out of left field? Like, what are we talking about? It's fine to say, you know what, interesting, but I don't think that that's it. But
This
to
is
pretend like this doesn't
crazy.
make any sense, that's why we're not making any progress, because you're not open to considering the possibility that your PowerPoint presentation on Daniel 8 is nonsense. You should take it and throw it in the trash.
All right,
And let me give you some advice here. Hold on, let me
okay.
finish. Look at this. Maccabees. Okay, and I've read Maccabees, man. And I remember Maccabees brought me to tears. Okay. You want me to believe that the words of the Most High are a lie, because the words of the Most High clearly tell me that if I keep Torah, it's a force field. So then explain to me how these children were tortured. This mother who taught their children to keep Torah and refused to break Torah, their gift from the Most High was that mom got to watch all of her kids be tortured. So God must be a liar. And that tells you all you need to know about that book. It doesn't matter how well written it is. New Testament is really well written. Take it and throw it in the trash, because that is impossible according to the words of the Most High. And then you're pointing to this book and saying this book is why we should celebrate Hanukkah, the festival of lights. And this book is how we know Antiochus fulfilled the prophecy in Daniel chapter 8. And I'm telling you right now, you don't want to hear it, but this is the prophet in Deuteronomy 18:15. It's the Prince of Princes who stands up against Pharaoh 2.0, leads the second Exodus, and actually fulfills the exact things that are listed in Deuteronomy 34:11 and 12. Because the nation that took his children into captivity the second time is going to be judged. We know this, Genesis 15:14. It's a statement of fact. Isaiah 63 repeats it. Obadiah chapter 1. Esau, Edom has not been judged. This judgment has not occurred. As you can say yourself, the Greeks are not Esau. They're not Edom. That's not that lineage. This is a different issue. Amos 1:11, Malachi 1:4.
Bro,
This
you
is the
just
Most
jumping all
High's.
over.
It's this.
You just
How can you
jumping
say that?
all.
Jumping all
Look,
over? Let's go
for
look at
you,
what I'm citing.
you're just jumping all over the place.
Because
I
the
want
Most
you to
High word is
stay. This is what I want.
consistent.
Chief Shema. If you want to speak, go ahead. Because I want to make him go to Daniel 8, and I want him to explain Daniel. Just stand in Daniel 8 and explain it. But before we do that, you want to say something, Chief Shema?
No, go ahead. I'm listening. I wanted to comment on what he said when he said about the woman Hannah, her 7 sons. As you read, one of her sons said they are going through this because of their sins. See, God put us through certain things because of our iniquities, and we have to pay for it. Even today, we go through certain things. Yes, we keep the laws of God, Yes, it protects you. Yes, it's a force field, but we got to answer for our iniquities that we have committed in our past. So that's why negative things still happens in our lives. Anything that's negative that happened in your life, you should already consider to say, well, wow, I must have done something, You don't believe that?
No, I 100% agree with you. The Most High chastens those that he loves. I absolutely agree with you. But this is what I would say. We are in the 1,000-year period when God rests. That day, remember when he says, in that day, they shall, when they cry to me, I won't listen, right? In that day, right? Think about it. Think about what Daniel. Daniel says, in the midst of the week, he will confirm the covenant with many for 1 week, right? Here, can I share something else? Let me share this, okay?
Yeah,
Listen,
I
you
want
guys
you
want
to. I want you to explain Daniel 8 too.
Okay, can you put this up on the screen though? The
Which
slide
one?
one, please. Slide one.
Slide 1. It doesn't say anything about slide 1.
It's slide 1. It just says slide 1.
Is this? Hold on. Let me move this. No,
Not
that's
that.
not it.
This.
That's okay.
Okay. Look at. He shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. What does that mean? God didn't confirm this covenant for a week. It clearly doesn't mean that. And we know from Psalms 90 verse 4 that a day of creation also represents 1,000 years of Earth's history. Notice that on day 2 of creation, it's the only day he doesn't say it was good. The second 1,000 years of Earth's history is when the flood occurs, 1656, if you count forward the years. So it would make a ton of sense. And notice what's happening on day 2. He's separating waters, right? Okay, so he shall confirm the covenant with many for 1 week. So this entire story is 7,000 years. Okay. Now.
So what about the other? What about the other time period?
Hold on. There's another time period. You see, this is going to history. There is
no,
nothing
it is
else
another...
before. No, there's nothing. This world, we are heading towards the end of 7,000 years.
No, in Daniel 9, there is more time than just that 1 week.
Again, so sure, but I'm saying, what does that verse mean? Now,
yo, you just making stuff up,
no,
bro.
No, I'm not making stuff up. Notice what it says next. Notice what it says next. And in the middle of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. That's a reference to the temple being destroyed. And the temple was destroyed in the middle of the 7,000-year story at 3,500 years. And this is when I tell you that Daniel 9:24 shouldn't say 70 weeks. Jeremiah 25:11 shouldn't say 70 years. It should say 70 jubilees, because that's 3,500 years.
Why should it?
Because let's go to Hosea 3 verse 4. That's why. Let's go to Hosea 3 verse 4, because the word of the Most High are the truth. And you believe a story that's told to us by the authors of the New Testament, because you cannot have the New Testament theology without the creation of the second temple.
This is all stuff that you just made up, bro.
How did I make that up? Do you disagree with what I'm saying? How can there be a second temple when we look at Hosea 3 verses 4 and 5?
This is your right. What about the other time periods in Daniel 9? Why you leave that out? Explain that too.
What other time periods? What? Tell me.
In Daniel 9,
tell me what's missing. What am I missing?
You're missing the
62.
You're missing the 62 weeks.
62 weeks is right.
Where's that?
62 plus 7, it says, man. 62 plus 7, which is 69, and it's right there. And that's when Messiah comes. Messiah comes at 69:50.
Let's go read it.
It's right there. I put it right there. You see the mark?
Let's go read it. It says, "Know therefore and discern that from the going forth of the word to restore and build Jerusalem, until one anointed shall be 7 weeks." Right. So you have us.
What it says. It says shall be 7 weeks and 62 weeks. That's 69 jubilees, brother. That's what it is.
They don't say that.
The 62 weeks.
Say that?
Hold on. The 62 weeks is separate from the 7 weeks.
I'm not talking about the 62 weeks. That's in 26. That's in 26. To me, that's a reference to right before the final.
Listen, Linda. It says, "Know therefore and discern that from the going forth of the word to restore and build Jerusalem until one anointed a prince shall be 7 weeks." That's the first time period. And for 62 weeks, the 62 weeks, that's 62 weeks, it shall be built again with broad place and moat, but in troublous time. Verse 26. And after the 62 weeks, It separates the 2 weeks from the 7 weeks.
You're wrong, brother. You have no wisdom. You have
What
no
do you
understanding of this.
mean?
You want me to
So,
explain it to you? I'm happy to explain it to you, but are you willing to listen?
Let me just ask you this for a second. Why does it say the 3 score in 2 weeks?
Again, that's what this translation says. Okay. And
so
listen,
let's go to the Hebrew.
Hold on. Why can't I respond to anything you say?
You just said that. Let's go to the Hebrew. Hold on. Let's go to the Hebrew. Let's go to the Hebrew. Let's go to the Hebrew. What does this say? This word right here. What does this say?
I don't understand. Where am I looking? Where are you looking?
Right here. Ha Shaboim. What does this hey stand for right there?
Again, but this is verse 26. We're in 25.
I'm asking you, why does it say the 62 weeks?
Because this is a different. This is referring to something else.
This is referring to something else. The hey means the.
Oh my goodness!
Correct.
I mean, listen.
It's not. Okay. Hold on. So it's not just the translation. It has the hey prefix here, which is the definite article. So it's not in translation that says the. The Hebrew says the.
It's not the same verse. This is a different verse.
It is the same
this
verse.
This verse is not talking about the Messiah. This verse has nothing to do with the Messiah.
You're not listening, bro. You're not listening.
You're not listening.
In verse 20, you're doing what the Christians do. The Christians,
no, I'm not, brother.
Listen.
Christians coming up here telling you this stuff.
Listen. The Christians add the 7 weeks and the 62 weeks together to make it 69 weeks. They do that. That's what the Christians do, because they misrepresent this text. This text does not tell you that the 62 weeks and the 7 weeks go together. The text.
Can you go to my picture again?
Hold on. The text actually lets you know that the 62 weeks are separate from the 7 weeks. So I'm asking you, if Daniel separates the 62 weeks from the 7 weeks, why do you add them together to make them one time period?
Because they're two separate things, brother. They're two separate things. Daniel 9:26, okay, is the best example of Jeremiah 8.
I can't do it. I can't do it, bro. We're not doing this. We're not doing this, bro. We're not doing this. Hold on. Every time this dude they added it to the text. It's not supposed to be there. The scribes added it to the text. Bro, stop doing that. You gotta stop doing that. Now, because Daniel 9:26 cut your whole doctrine that the 62 weeks are not supposed to be added to the 7 weeks, since it cuts your whole doctrine, now the wicked scribes added it to the Bible. Like, what are we doing?
The wicked scribes.
Like, what are we doing?
The wicked scribes.
And he went, how he goes here, and then I cut him on his point here, and now, Jeremiah 8:8, the wicked scribes added it to the Bible. Come on, bro. We can't. This can't do that, bro.
Wicked scribes.
For the people, if y'all never had this argument before, right? He's not the originator of this. What the Christians do, when it says, "Know therefore and discern that from the going forth of the word to restore and build Jerusalem unto a prince shall be 7 weeks." This is one time period. The first time period is 7 weeks. And then the second time period is 62 weeks. It says, "And for 62 weeks it shall be built again with broad place, with molten and troublous times." In verse 26, it lets us know that the 62 weeks is separate from the 7 weeks, because it says after the 62 weeks. If it was 69 weeks, it would say after the 69 weeks, but it says after the 62 weeks. But he wants to add them together to make them 69 weeks to fit his bogus math. Daniel doesn't agree with that. And you can't say Daniel 9:26 is the wicked scribe, or you can't. That's a cop out. But go ahead, Moran.
Okay, question for you here. Okay, when it says, keep the verse up. When it says it shall be built in troublous times, what is it talking about?
The temple.
What's
the temple was built? The temple was built.
What? Okay, so you think this is a reference to the second temple?
The temple in the city, yes.
Is that what you think? Okay. Can we go to Hosea chapter 3, verses 4 and 5, please?
Go ahead.
All right, I'm going to pull it up. Can you put it on my screen?
Mm-hmm.
Because brother Chief Shama, as somebody raised in Torah, you're going to have wisdom, you're going to have understanding. Gadol is obviously indoctrinated, and he refuses to accept the possibility that he has no idea what he's talking about. Okay, this verse is very clear. It's clear as day that the children of Israel are cut off, and they are like that to the end of the world.
What you said? You said the children of Israel is cut off.
Chief Shema, he doesn't believe the second temple was ever built.
Yes, because the second temple is needed. True. No, hold on.
You have history on it. I said. Go ahead.
Yeah, there we go. See, there we go. See, that's the sin of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, brother. You're going to history and saying history can contradict the words of the Most High. You're saying you're allowing history to tell you something different from what Hosea chapter 3 verses 4 and 5 said. Because I'm going to read this to you, and you can't argue what it says unless you want to let history be your guide. And if you want to let history be your guide, that's your choice. But that's not where I am.
The Bible says it was built. The Bible says it was built.
The Bible, Ezra. Yeah,
I read it.
The Bible says that he anointed Cyrus the Great. It doesn't tell you why, though.
Look.
It never tells you why he anointed Cyrus. Hold on. Let me just read this real quick. For the children of Israel.
Hosea what
chapter 3, verses 4 and 5. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. And see, this is the thing. The New Testament deception is in Old Testament.
Oh, my
That's the thing. It's amazing. Gadol says he won't read Jasher because he doesn't know if it's Jasher. But he pretends Ezra as written in the book that your slave owners handed to you. That's the correct translation. And I'm the one who's crazy, though, because I'm the one who says that's a complete contradiction, that you trust this.
Moran.
You trust the book that cites Jasher, but then you won't read Jasher, right?
Moran, did the slave masters give you Hosea 3 verses 4 and 5?
Again, where does wisdom come from?
Oh my
does it come from history? Does it say? Does the Most High say wisdom comes from history? Is that what it says?
But you just told me you just told me I believe a text that the slave master gives me. But you believe
this is the problem that you have. This is why.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's say I believe a text that the slave master gave me. Do you also believe a text that the slave master gave you?
This first of all, this text, these texts, the deception in these texts is not for me. It's for your people. It's not for me. All of New Testament is for your people, brother. I'm telling you, you don't understand.
Answer the question, though. You don't
understand Esau, Edom, and what.
Hold on. Did the slave masters also give Hosea chapter 3 verses 4 and 5?
Again, here, very simple. What is our standard? How do we know?
Oh my God!
You said it with the brother.
Go ahead, Chief Shammai. Go ahead.
Hold on. You came on with the brother that talked about the Quran. You cannot contradict, correct?
Chief Shammai said he out of here.
You cannot contradict, correct?
Oh my goodness. Go ahead, bro.
You cannot contradict. The word of God cannot contradict. Yes or no?
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So that for the children of Israel shall abide for many days without a king, without a prince, without a sacrifice, without an image, without an ephod, and without a terrapin. And then what happens? And then afterwards, after this many days without this, what happens? The children of Israel return. They seek Yahuwah their God and David their king, and shall fear Yahuwah in their latter days. How can you say to me that the temple was rebuilt? God must be a liar then. So you reject this verse in Hosea 3 verses 4 and 5. So just like I reject the book of Ezra, which tells me Cyrus, the great deception, rebuilt the temple, you're rejecting these verses.
The book of Ezra tells you Zerubbabel and the people of Israel built the temple. But again, I don't reject Hosea 3 and 4. I believe Hosea 3. Hold on. I believe Hosea 3 and 4. I believe we're living during the prophecy of Hosea 3 and 4 now. I don't disagree with Hosea 3 and 4. But I also understand that in history, after Babylon, they came out of Babylon and built a temple.
That's
You
different
understand
time
through
zone, brother.
history.
Everything
They-
don't happen.
History.
They did that. So we have
History.
in the Bible, they did that. In the Tanakh, they did that. Daniel prophesied about it. Ezra and Nehemiah wrote about it. It happened in history. Do you accept Jeremiah? Jeremiah writes about it.
He writes about what? What does he write about?
About them coming out of Babylon, making
No,
the
he doesn't.
covenant. Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't. He says they will. He doesn't say they did. It's a future prophecy. Jeremiah bought a piece of land. Did he ever redeem that land? No. Did somebody buy any land the second time when it was destroyed?
Did Jeremiah prophesy before Babylonian exile? Yes or no?
This is a lie, brother.
Babylonian exile was after.
So the 70-year prophecy is a lie?
Okay, so listen, I just want you to say out loud what you're teaching I'm going to say this out loud, so I want you to hear what you're teaching your flock here. I want you to hear this out loud. I'm going to speak it out loud.
I'm not teaching anything. We're having a dialogue.
This is what you're teaching. This is what you're teaching. You're teaching your people that the first captivity of the children of Israel was 400 years. Then what the Most High did was he brought them out of Egypt with a strong hand. He did all of these signs, wonders, did all of these things that you talk about every night. He did all of these things for these people. He parted the Red Sea. He wiped out all of their enemies. He did all of these things. He gives them the land. They ignore his express commandments. And their subsequent punishment now is 70 years.
They went into captivity before Babylon. They was in the captivity during the time of Judges for a bunch of different times.
For 7 years. The first captivity we went into was Kushan Rishathaim. They served 7 years. There was the land got taken over. They raided the land and we was captives in our own land.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. And it was a couple different captivities.
It was a couple of different times. Ehud delivered us from another captivity.
Or do you reject the book of Judges too?
But you guys, hold on. But what I'm saying is, hold on.
Every captivity doesn't have to be hundreds of years, bro.
Can you just pull up what I drew about Daniel real quick?
But I really don't know, bro.
Please pull it up real quick. I just want to pull it up real quick.
I don't know.
Real quick, I know you want to pretend your PowerPoint's the truth. I get it. Just pull up my PowerPoint. Just pull it up.
Hold on, where is it?
I get it. Godal can never be wrong, guys. I apologize for challenging.
I've been wrong a lot of times. Oh no, that's the wrong one.
You're wrong right now. You're wrong right now too. But
Where's
it's okay.
That?
Okay, right here. Okay, now notice.
This don't make any sense.
Okay, it doesn't make any sense because you haven't even studied it. So how can it make sense to you?
I just listened to you go over it, and you adding.
Let me go over it. Let me go over it.
Hold on. I listened to you go over it. You add the 7 weeks and the 62 weeks. Once you do that to make 69 weeks, it's off from the jump because Daniel doesn't say that. Daniel doesn't say that. Daniel separates.
Okay.
Daniel separates the 62 weeks from the 7 weeks. Daniel does that. He says from the going forth of the word to one anointed is 7 weeks. And he says 62 weeks, the temple, the city, and all that stuff is built again. You're adding those time periods together. You're just wrong. But go ahead. I'll let you do your thing.
Okay,
but
listen.
Don't be long-winded.
I'm going to be super quick. Okay, as Hosea said, the children of Israel are cut off, and they're never reinstalled until the end. Okay, as you see here, that is correct in this diagram because the temple is destroyed at 3,500, and it's never rebuilt until 7,000. Okay. And notice that's how Daniel's prophecy ends. Daniel's prophecy ends with the temple being rebuilt. Not the second temple being rebuilt, right? But the actual temple being rebuilt. And now notice, Messiah would come before that, correct? Messiah would come and lead the children of Israel out of their captivity back to the promised land to then rebuild the temple. Messiah comes at 69 Jubilees, which is 50 years before Jerusalem is restored. And this is the true prophecy. And notice Daniel says it in Daniel 7:25. He shall be given into their hand for a time, 1,000 years, times 2,000 years, and half a time, or dividing a time, 500 years. It's the same prophecy repeated. And again, we know it's the truth because the second temple directly contradicts the words of the prophet Hosea. And that's a Torah fact. And anyone at home, take a screenshot of this and go study it, because I'm not the source of truth. I'm not the source of truth, and I'm just going to read what I think.
Hold on. Where you get this from right here? All this stuff, where you get it from?
This is the correct prophecy. That's where
I'm
I
not
got it.
asking you.
God gave it to me.
God
God
gave it to
me.
you.
Show me somebody else that's saying this.
Hold
Find
on.
somebody else that says this.
Hold on. So you're one of these dudes that run around telling you God directly gave you this. You made this up, bro. That's what you did. You made it up, bro.
Where
made
does
this shit
knowledge
up, bro.
come from?
You made it up,
knowledge
bro.
come from? I made it up. Okay.
You made it up, bro. None of this stuff you're talking about is in the text. You made it up.
I just want to read.
Hold on. None of that stuff you read. God would not tell you to misrepresent Daniel. I know God understands what Daniel's saying.
Okay.
God would not tell you to add.
Bro.
God would not tell you to add this 62 weeks to the 7 weeks when Daniel directly separates it. He says after
that translation is corrected, brother.
Bro. It says after the
Messiah comes at the end of the world, brother. You know that.
Bro.
I know that. Everybody knows that. Imagine when you're teaching. When does the Messiah come? At the end of the world.
Can you stop? It says after
Jesus came. JC came already. You're right.
It says
JC
after.
came.
Yo, come on, bro. It says after the 62 weeks. It does not say after the 69.
Different
weeks.
Verse, brother.
It does not, bro.
Verse.
Be quiet, bro. Be quiet. Can you? It says after the 62 weeks. If Daniel wanted us to add the 7 weeks and the 62 weeks together, it would say after the 69 weeks, but it doesn't. So in this verse, it gives you a time period. It says, "Know therefore from the going forth of the word to restore and build Jerusalem." Question: when does the going forth of the word start? Where's the word?
It starts at the same time he makes the proclamation that it's going to be destroyed.
Where is that? What date is
you're
it?
You're not gonna believe that book. I mean, it's interesting because in that book, you know what happens to the. Hold on, let me finish.
I'm asking you a direct question. It says, "Know therefore from the going forth of the word to restore and build Jerusalem unto a prince shall be 7 weeks." So, what date in history? What date in time did this word go forth? That's what I'm asking you. Since you have the understanding.
It's whenever he tells Baruch that he's going to destroy the temple, because he tells him at the same time it's going to be rebuilt.
What year? What time is that? Which text are you talking about?
Whenever that is. I don't know. Whenever it is. 3,500 years ago.
So
3,450 years ago from now, because we're 50 years up.
All right, so
we're 50 years
35.
up.
So you
and
said
again, Messiah comes at the end of the world. You agree?
Hold on. The word went forth.
I'm just going to let my dog out real quick. I'll be right. I'm here. I can hear you.
All right. So the word went forth 3,500 years ago.
3450. 3450.
So the word went forth 3450 until one anointed.
That's the Messiah. Messiah comes at the end of the world.
All right. Shall be 7 weeks.
69, brother. It should say 69. Right. It's 62 plus 7.
Shall be 69 weeks.
69 jubilees. Yes. See that? And look, if you pull up my documentation again, you can see that I'm not pulling this out of the sky.
Hold on. So your time period for the 69 weeks started 3,450 years ago.
Correct.
All right. So 3,450 or 350?
3,450 years ago. Yeah. 50 years less than 3,500. Yeah.
Okay. So today, how much time do we got going forward?
49 years left.
49 years. So 3,450 is 3 years, 3.5 years.
I'm sorry. I don't think I'm following.
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to get the understanding.
I don't, but I don't think I'm following. So what was the question?
It says no. Therefore, I'm trying to get. It says going forth of the from the going forth of the word till the anointed one should be 69 weeks. You said the word went forth 3,450 years ago. So we're in this time period. I'm asking you, how much time do we have left?
49 years. Here, let me. I'm
talking about like 49 literal years.
49 literal years left. Yes. Here, I'm going to add this right now. If you can put this up on the screen.
Hold on,
because I want everyone to have the receipts.
But listen
to
my
comes from the Most
Listen
High.
to my question. How?
Okay, go ahead.
So you're telling, and you said the 59 years, the 59. I mean, 90. How many you said weeks? 69 weeks. And how many years is that? The 69 jubilees.
That's 3,450 years. 50 years short of 3,500. So think about it. If Jerusalem is restored, right, and the temple, right, the most holy places, the holy place is anointed after 70 jubilees, that's 3,500 years. Messiah comes 50 years before that event takes place.
Say it one more time.
Okay, so 3,500 years. So they were cut off in the middle of the week.
All right, and that time period starts. And that time period starts when Baruch prophesies it. You said.
Yeah, and if you look at that book, I think something's really interesting.
Yo, this doesn't make sense, bro.
Hold on, let me just point it out. In that book, what the Most High does with the things in the temple is he buries them in the earth.
Bro, this doesn't make sense, bro.
It doesn't make any sense. If you agree, if you believe history telling you that there was a second temple, you're going to reject it. You're going to continue to reject it. But again, according to the Most High, the temple was never rebuilt. This is just the judgment. This is the 7-year judgment that is going to lead us to the Exodus. Okay,
bro, I'm not even about to do that.
Why can't you leave it up for people to look at and study?
Because it doesn't make any sense. First, according to Daniel 9.
That's not Daniel 9, brother. That's not Daniel 9. That's the 7-year tribulation, the judgment of America.
Hold on. Daniel 9. We're talking about Daniel 9. It doesn't make any sense. You're conflating two different time periods.
I'm not.
And then
let's look at it.
I mean, let me ask you this question. Is in the future, the city and the temple is going to be destroyed again? That temple you say is going to be built?
No, absolutely not. It's never going to be destroyed.
Oh, what city and temple is being destroyed in Daniel 9?
You're talking about Daniel 9:26.
What city and temple is being destroyed?
Can I read you what Daniel 9:26?
I'm asking you. I
don't believe that. Question. I don't believe that. It's made up. It's designed.
Bro.
That translation has been altered to make you believe in the second temple and Rome destroying it.
Bro,
this is what Daniel 9:26.
This temple has This temple has nothing to do with Rome, bro. Has nothing to do with Rome.
Can I answer?
I'm asking you.
Is there a verse that says the temple will be destroyed?
Yo, this has nothing to do with Rome or the New Testament. This has nothing to do with that. So don't mention Rome or no, it does not.
It does.
No, it does not. No, it does not.
Let me ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Very simple. Simple question. Can you have New Testament without the second temple? Yes or no?
I don't know and I don't care, bro. I don't know and I don't care.
So
I'm asking you, how can you
no,
hold on?
Should tell you something.
Hold on.
I'm asking you.
Bro, I'm asking you a question. How do you believe verse 25, but you don't believe verse 26? And then you believe verse 27.
I've been.
And who gives you the authority to say which verses is true and which verses is false?
Because the word of God can't contradict. That's who gives me the authority.
Bro, it don't contradict. It contradicts your false doctrine.
Can I speak? Okay. Notice we have 62 and 70. What's the difference?
What?
What's the difference between 62 and 70? Because we have 70 weeks and then we have 62 weeks. You agree?
70 weeks. You said 70 weeks.
70 weeks and 924, and then we have 62. So what's the difference?
They're both 70. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? They're both 70.
926 says 62 weeks.
No, you have a 7-week time period a 62-week time period, and a 1-week time period. That's 70 weeks.
So Messiah comes at the same time the temple is rebuilt. Is that your theory?
No, that's your confusion.
I'm not saying that. So I'm saying he comes 50 years first.
That's not what it's saying.
Okay, hold on. Just answer my question. What's the difference between 70 and 62?
It's no difference. They're both 70.
No.
You keep adding. You keep gonna take stuff away.
No. Just separate again. Let's just add math. Basic math. What's the difference between 70 and 62?
8.
8 times
but
50
what
is
does
what?
that have to? What does that have to do with anything?
Can I finish?
No, because you're going down the loophole.
50 is what? I'm going to explain it to you.
You're going down the loophole, and you're making stuff up that's not in the text. But Daniel 9 is about 70 weeks. Stop talking about 62. It's about 70 weeks.
The difference is 8.
But it doesn't. You're making this up, bro.
8 times 50 is what?
You're making this up, bro. It doesn't matter. You're making this up. Now, I'm not going to walk down your street of BS. Daniel 9 has a 7-week, a 62-week, and a 1-week. That's 70 weeks. Why are you taking away that? Make that make sense to me.
Well, so when you say that, when I try to make it make sense to you, you don't allow me to
because what you're doing, you're trying to remix Daniel 9. Does Daniel 9 talk about 7 weeks, 70 weeks 2 times in here? Yes or no?
Again, I don't see that. I see 62 plus 7. I never see 7 alone.
Hold on. I'm gonna go. This
I know your translation is the only one I've seen like that. And
hold on. It stopped lying, bro.
After 7. It comes at the end of
Look
the
what
week.
it says. Hold on. Know therefore and discern that from the going forth of the word until one anointed shall be 7 weeks. 7 weeks. That's one period. 62 weeks. So you have 7, then you have 62, and then right here it says 1 week.
Okay, and since you won't let me speak,
you have 62, you have 7. What are you talking about?
Okay, so the difference between 70 and 62 is 8. 8 times 50 is 400. That's the years that he promised to Abraham in Genesis 15:13. So let me finish speaking.
Why are you leaving out the last week?
Again, that's you're reading it like that because you want to be right. You're not letting somebody read it in a different way.
Read verse 27 in your text.
Verse 27?
Yes.
Brother, I just explained to you what that means. That week is the 7,000 years of Earth's history. It's not a week.
It says for 1 week.
He shall make a firm covenant.
Is this 1 week? This 1 week.
Super simple. I'm going to answer your question for you, Gadol. The covenant of the Most High with people on earth.
It doesn't say the covenant of Most High.
You don't. So who made the covenant?
The wicked prince the wicked prince that destroys the city.
And so again, if you can just let me read what that verse should say, maybe the chain will be removed from your mind. Okay? When you say should say,
when you say should say, where do you get in it from?
I get it from the fact that the word of the Most High cannot contradict.
No. Did you make it up?
Been a second temple
did you make it up
by anybody?
Hold on. Did you make it up?
I'm going to read it to you, and you can decide.
Hold on.
I'm asking. That says it's foolish to answer a matter before you hear it.
Before you read it, I'm not answering it. I'm asking you a question. You're not even letting me
answer.
Where did you get the verse from? That's what I'm asking you.
I wrote it down.
So you wrote a verse. Go ahead.
Now, after the 62 Jubilees, Israel will be cut off and have nothing. The people of Edom will destroy them, but his end will come speedily like a flood. Until the end of the war that has been decreed, there will be destruction.
So you took Daniel's word and remixed it.
It's not that
you're Jeremiah. Look, Moran. You're Jeremiah 8:8.
Let's see. I gotta go check this dog. So see what this man has to say with his.
Yeah, we're gonna see you guys. All right. This dude writing his own verses and remixing Daniel's words, man. Hey,
how you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up? You got something to say?
Man, all of this is kind of it's besides the point, because what we find is that every prophet
Excuse me. Before you start, can you give your religious ideology and can you...
I'm an Edomite. I'm an Edomite.
What's your religious stance? Are you Christian? Is Muslim? What are you?
I love the laws of Moses. I only follow Moses.
So you Torah only?
Torah only.
Okay, go ahead.
I don't listen to Balaam because he was a sorcerer. What you find is that Israel made peace. They tried to make peace while Moses was still alive. Our brother just said that the word doesn't contradict itself, and it does. Even in the book of Moses.
You know him?
I don't know him.
Oh.
Okay, if you look in Numbers, that Moses sent a letter to Edom saying that he wanted to pass through their borders, and that he gave them a letter of peace. But he had also told the Israelites not to meddle with the Edomites. That was, they couldn't. That was their land. You couldn't mess with them. And Edom refused passage. And then, right after that, Israel, it says in Numbers, sent the same letter to Sihon. They attempted peace with the Canaanites. What did God say if you did that?
Not to cut you off, but what this is Smoke Friday. So, do you have something you wanna challenge me on? You have something you want to try to get to it? Like, we don't want long.
Okay, yeah. All of these prophets are false. Is my point. Y'all are going into stuff that is completely beside the point. That's what I was trying to say. Mm-hmm. Now, if you look at Deuteronomy, Moses then takes credit for that letter of peace. He said, "I sent the letter of peace to Sihon." If you read Numbers, it says Israel sent. It was just after Miriam had died. So they took that time to go behind Moses' back and tried to make peace with the Canaanites. So right there, Israel had no choice. Because once Moses started saying, "I did the letter, I was the leader, I wrote it," we had no choice, or they had no choice but to kill Moses. And I'm telling you right now, Moses isn't dead. There's the contradictions. We're going to see Moses again.
Where do you get your information from?
I'm going by the Torah here.
So what makes you think Moses is not dead?
Because Moses was telling a lie. He didn't write that letter. He told you in Numbers, Israel wrote it.
Moses lied?
Moses lied. He began to test Israel before it was done in Deuteronomy.
Where you get this information from? That's what I'm asking. Where do you get this information from?
From Numbers and Deuteronomy.
How do you know Moses isn't dead? That's what I'm asking you.
How do I know Moses, the guy that told them if they didn't wipe them out, that they would come and do all these things? I mean, Moses is the guy who told them you can't do it.
But I'm asking you, you said Moses isn't dead. How do you know Moses isn't dead? Where you get that information from?
Because I'm telling you, the evidence there that Moses is lying. By the time you get to Deuteronomy, Moses is lying to you.
I'm not going to allow you to keep calling Moses a liar. I get kind of touchy with that.
You're calling Moses a liar, brother.
I want you to.
You're saying that David and them can make peace with the Canaanites and it'll be just fine. I want you to
explain to me, how do you know Moses isn't dead?
I'm telling you, it's in my heart. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay.
The reason nobody knows where Moses is, and is because he isn't dead. Israel will have to try to kill Moses to redeem himself.
The Most High told Moses to go up the Most High told Moses to go up in the mountain and die. The people mourned them for how long? 30 days?
Moses wrote down that he died. Before he died, he never did.
Where do you get that from?
Because he wrote Deuteronomy. He said, and nobody knows where his body is to this day. He was writing that and he wasn't even dead.
Can I ask you a question, though? Because you said we're relying on the prophets and the prophets are lying to us.
Yes.
But you see the same story in the Torah. If you go to Genesis, look at the vision Abraham sees, right? And look at the sacrifice. What does he do for the sacrifice? He takes them and he divides them in half, right?
Yeah.
So the story is divided in half. In the middle of the week, he's going to cut Israel off. And think about the horror that Abraham saw. And then the accumulation of that horror being Genesis 15:13, which again is the captivity here in America. And this is what I'm trying to say to you guys, man. The word of the Most High is perfect. As it was in the past, so shall be in the end. Aaron and Moses went to Pharaoh. David and Elijah are going to Trump, and you're going to witness it. And when I'm standing next to you in the Exodus, you can say, man, I can't believe I didn't believe you.
I got another
Give me a
question.
hug. Give me a hug. And
Like
apologize for your blasphemy.
both of you guys, like he said, it's in his heart. You guys are just going off of stuff that you feel inside and what you think.
How is this what I feel?
You down there, you wrote your own verse and added it to Daniel.
There's no
Jeremiah
second
8 and 8.
temple. There's no second temple.
He wrote
There's no second temple.
Did you hear him?
There's no second temple.
He said that verse is not supposed. Hold on. Moran, hold on. He said that verse is not supposed to say that. This is what it should say. I said, what are you reading? He said, I wrote it. he read something he wrote.
Yes.
Like this is what he do. And this dude talking about Moses. Moses is not dead because he feel it in his heart.
That's not what I said, though. That's not.
No, this guy
That's not
said,
what I said either.
No,
I said there's evidence that Moses was lying.
You said you feel it in your heart.
No, but I said there's
stop
evidence.
Calling Moses a liar, man.
I'm not calling Moses a liar. He's telling you lies himself. He's the one that told us Israel tried to make peace with the Canaanites.
You can I tell you something? You got to be careful, man. You see what the Most High did to Miriam and Aaron for talking against Moses, and you keep calling him a liar. You're not afraid?
Look, I'm not. Listen, I love the words of Moses.
Things like that, man.
You guys are talking about David, and David. Where do y'all get that David was a man after God's own heart? He was in league with the Canaanites. He named his son after Baal.
Wow.
What? King David named his son after Baal.
Messiah, right?
Yeah, Baal-Yada. He was married to a Canaanite princess. He was Hiram was his king. You got to read, brother. David was reinforcing Canaanite covenants constantly. He didn't name none of his sons after Baal. Go and read. It's right there. David's sons.
Oh God.
Absalom's mother was a Canaanite. Baal-Yada's mother was a Canaanite.
Who the hell is Baal-Yada?
That's David's son.
Can you put that PDF up one more time, please? One more time.
I'm not putting
David didn't have no son named Baal-Yada.
Yes, he did, brother.
On,
and he was in league with the Canaanites.
Yes, he did. Consider it, man. What's wrong with considering?
Yo, Gadol, what's going on, man?
I don't know, man.
Look, okay, what would happen?
Hold on. Some stuff is like you can't. Some stuff you can't even argue against because like they don't get the information from anywhere. It's just stuff how they feel. So
what the hell is Baal-Yada?
I don't know. What
I ain't never heard no name named Baal-Yada.
Time out. I want to just get quick time out here because I find this offensive that we're grouping me with that kind of logic when I'm saying to you, I'm clearly saying to you that there was no second temple. Hosea 3 verses 4 and 5. Like my point is grounded in God's word. Like I'm showing you God's word. I'm not saying I have a feeling. I passed gas, right? I don't have Edom's flag behind me. Like I have wisdom and understanding.
Maran, I need him to tell me or show me in the book where David had a son named Baal-Yada.
You're going to read it in Chronicles. You're going to read it in Kings, brother. Go read it.
You tweaking, man.
We probably forgot.
Hit Google. It's easy these days.
Baal-Yada?
It's spelled B-E-E, Eliada. It's also in Hebrew, it's Baal-Yada. Yes.
Oh, God.
Listen, Canaan and David were hand in glove. What did God say about that? What did he say if you spared the Canaanites? He said that the ones you leave will be thorns
outside. He said, don't go into covenant with the Canaanites because they're going to be a thorn on our side.
And barbs in your eyes. Okay, who? If you're going by the New Testament, who put the crown of thorns? Who put the spear in the side?
I'm not going by no New Testament.
Rome.
We don't follow the New Testament in here, man.
Okay, there ain't no New Testament in here. So is David the Messiah?
Is your name Shem?
My name is not Shem.
No, it said is the glass. Maybe I read this wrong. Is the guy with the glasses? Is he of Shem? Oh, he said he an Edomite. My bad, I'm read it wrong. He said he
I'm
an
an
Edomite.
Edomite.
All right. Anyways, I'm gonna run. I love you, Gadol. I really enjoyed the conversation, but I have a request for you. Okay.
I'm a
This
real
week you're gonna
Edomite,
get
not a
to.
Canaanite Roman.
This week you're gonna get to Deuteronomy 33, I think, right?
Yeah.
And when we read Deuteronomy 33:26, I want to request that I come up and show the proof of it being fulfilled.
All right, man. You know you always welcome here, man. You my guy,
I
man.
love you,
You
man. I love you. And
you
ponder
crazy,
that
but
verse,
you my
man.
guy.
Ponder
Man.
that verse. You know what? Take it to God and take it to the Most High and say, "Hey, this
You
lunatic
see,
showed up today and was
because
saying
he's
all these
in
crazy
league with
things, right?"
Canaan, he's
And
your
see what he
guy,
says.
brother.
All right, man.
I
All right,
don't
Hey, I
want to
love
be
you, man.
linked with
all
him.
right. Shalom.
I
Love
don't
you,
want to be
man.
I
linked
gotta
with
go.
that kind down there.
Keep Shama. I'm out, man. Love you guys. See
All
you
All
right,
right.
love
soon.
you, man.
What's your
Shalom.
name? All right, Shalom. What's your name, brother?
My name's John Thomas. Okay.
John Thomas. Nice to meet
Yes.
you, brother. Nice to meet you.
Okay. When Joshua gave away the land of the Benjamites to the Hivites, do you remember when the Hivites came up to Joshua and they said, "We're not from here," and they made a covenant with Joshua? That was all of Benjamin's territory. They found out that, hey, you just gave away our land. Before you know it, the Israelites are fighting to save the Hivites against the Amorites. Okay, do you see something wrong with that? Doesn't matter what his name was, Joshua, David, whoever. We're calling Moses a liar. If we the same reason that Edom could not. What did Edom do?
Hold on. So Moses is a liar, but you believe you follow Moses. Why would you
I'm te-
follow a liar?
I'm telling you, because Moses is telling you outright. Look, he's telling you that you're under a test. So it's not really a lie. He's saying the Israelites did this. They tried to keep
Hey, man. Hey,
peace with
chat.
the Canaanites.
One in the chat if y'all want to keep him up here. Two in the chat if he should go. Cause I don't. Hey, Chief,
If
you
it's too
wanna?
much, it's too much. But listen, the same reason, what did Edom do? What did Esau do? He started marrying those Canaanite girls. That's how come Rebecca said, and she went and got Israel, and she said, you go in there and you get that blessing. Because Esau was already including those Canaanites into his
No, wait.
family.
Esau. No, remember Esau married the Ishmaelites. Married
That
into
was
Ishmaelites.
that was after he had two Canaanite girls. First, he had two Canaanite girls. He had Judith and he had Basemat. And and Abraham had already went out of his way to make
Hold
sure.
on. Hold on. I'm gonna be fair. You saying a lot of stuff that's not clicking in my mind, and I don't want to say you're wrong because I just don't remember it. So let's just go to the text just to be sure.
Right.
Because I don't want to say you're wrong because it's not fresh in my mind. But let's just
Okay.
what text you referring to? Let's just go
Because
read
I
this
do know for sure that.
This is Genesis.
Genesis.
Okay.
Let's just double check.
Remember,
Because I'm drawing a blank right. Maybe I'm tired. Genesis.
remember.
Which verse? Give us the verse.
Okay. Let me get out of Bible. What do you want to look at, brother?
Edom's Canaanite wives, and then I want you to go to the one with David's son with the name that's
Just
about
go to.
all. Because I'm
Okay.
and while you doing that, somebody asked, "How did you become an Edomite?"
How did I become it? I was born.
If Esau married a black woman, black people.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a long time ago, and Esau himself, you know what I mean, was big, hairy red guy. Um, I mean, Canaanites can be white at this point. They look just like Romans and stuff.
You know, the original Esau wasn't white. White, that color change didn't come about till years when they migrated into Yaphet migrated into the cold region and they started to lose melanin. Esau was Shemitic. That's Isaac's son.
Well,
Esau,
I mean,
Edom, meaning red, reddish brown. He wasn't born. The original Esau wasn't born white, but people have a hard time acknowledging that.
I understand. Genesis 26:34 So we're going to find.
It's 26:34. Yeah.
Okay, Elon the Hittite was the father.
Or Genesis 26:34.
Yeah,
all right. Esau was 40
places.
years old when he took the wife of Judith, the daughter of Beer the Hittite, and Basmath, the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they were a bitterness of spirit unto Isaac and Rebekah. All right, and the one
Okay,
about
so that's why Israel didn't steal anything
and the
from
one
Esau.
about David's
That is
son,
exactly why.
and the one about David's wife too. David's son. And you was gonna say this is why Esau didn't get his birthright?
That's why he did. That's exactly why. Because God did. When he told Abraham to go look at the land, he said, go look at what they're doing, and they were cannibals. Moses tells us that later.
All right, and the one about David's son too. I don't even know I honestly don't even know what to say to you, bro. You just, I don't know what
Well, my point is, all those prophets, look at the common thread. Every one of them have you in league with a guy named David. Okay, and David is serving Canaan. Remember when David took apart the tabernacle? What happened is his friend Uzzah burnt up, and where did David leave it? David leave that the ark. He left it at an Edomite's house.
He wasn't
And then
an
God
Edomite.
began to, he left it with an Edomite.
Obed Edom wasn't. He wasn't an Edomite. He was a Levite.
That wasn't the Edomite.
He was an Edomite.
He wasn't.
He's not an Edomite.
And then
he's a Levite.
And then God blessed Obed Edom, servant of Edom, and then David didn't want that.
He was a Levite though, bro. He wasn't a.
He wasn't the Edomite, bro.
Man. Well, that's even worse.
Well, how was that worse?
Well, he knew where to leave it, who it belonged to. Then, if you're right about that, that Obed Edom was he knew that didn't belong to him. That was the inheritance of a Levite, and so he wanted to get it back. You're telling me he wanted to take it back? I mean, that makes it even worse.
Bro, let me put you up top. There we go.
Okay.
But honestly, bro, for people for Torah onlys that only hold to the first 5 books, I really don't give them a hard time because I look, as long as you keep the law and follow the laws of Moses, it's good. You good in my eyes. But all this stuff, bro, like
what did the laws of Moses say? It said not to abhor an Edomite, but everybody's going on about Edom. Why? Because those other prophets are telling you to. Balaam and Amos and Obadiah.
I don't abhor no Edomite. Shit, I don't hate nobody.
Yeah, and the later thing that happened because when they was asking Edom to pass through their land, Amalek attacked Israel from the back.
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
That's about.
Exactly.
That's what that's about.
That's my point. But
where's that? Where's that written at? Where's that written at?
1 Chronicles 14:7.
1 Chronicles 14:7. But where's that written at?
But when Amalek hit him from the back,
that's in the book of Moses.
That's in Exodus.
That's in the book of Moses.
That's in the law that the Edomites. That's why the whole beef came off later. That's why they was told to destroy the Amalekites.
That's exactly right, and they did, and then they were supplanting Judah in Judah's territory. The Amalekites wouldn't get out of there. So God hates a supplanter. But the thing is, what did Moses tell them? You couldn't get rid of the Amalekites until you had peace from those Canaanites. He said, then you will go after the Amalekites. He said, when you have peace from all your enemies in the land in which you're going to inherit it, then you're going to wipe out the Amalekites. So Samuel comes along and he says to Saul, it's time to get rid of these Amalekites. Well, the place was overrun with Canaanites still. So you can't listen to both Moses and Samuel.
No, but Moses told you that God wouldn't take out all the Canaanites.
You mean the Amalekite? Yes, he would take out all of the Canaanites.
Oh, that's not
Eventually,
what. Yeah, eventually, but not all at one time.
not all at one time.
Yeah, so
Okay, you're going by that, but think about this. Why would he tell him to go take out the Amalekites when he specifically said, once you're done with all the Canaanites, then you go get the Amalekites? So they had it. The faster you wanted to get rid of Amalek, you had to get rid of Canaan first, and then you could go and finish them off. But Saul was overrun with the Canaanites. He's a Benjamite. If you go back to the book of Joshua, they've been living with the Canaanites ever since.
yeah, because
And
God left them in the land. He said he wasn't gonna take them out at one time. Because if
well,
he took them out
no,
at one time, the animals would,
that's not why the
overpopulate.
Hivites were there. It was because
No, I'm
Joshua had
talking
made
about.
that covenant with them.
He said he wasn't going to take the Canaanites all out at one time because
Okay,
that would cause the beasts of the land to overpower them.
okay, but there's a conflict there because when whenever David, if you remember, whenever there was a famine in the land, David inquires. He's already taken the ephod from the high priest, and David says, "Well, why is there a famine?" And then supposedly David gets told, "Well, it's because Saul had that bloodlust, and he tried to get rid of those Hivites." If you remember that, and David impaled 7 of Saul's sons so that it would rain for the Hivites. He asked the
So hold on,
Canaanites.
you talking about the sons of when Saul, those were Hivites?
They were Hivites. It says that it renames them Amorites in the book of Samuel, but it tells you they're the ones that Joshua made a covenant with. So those were actually Hivites. They had been in that territory, and they were protected by Israel under that covenant. So Saul
Mm-hmm.
had to live with those
So
Hivites.
they were the water barriers and stuff.
Well,
They made him know he was
Obed,
a wood and
Obed Edom was a Gittite. He wasn't an Edomite.
listen.
Read the book.
What I'm getting at here, is all of those prophets have you in league with Canaan. That's why Israel suffers, not because of anything else. It's because just like David, when he wanted the bread of the priest, he shared it with his Canaanite friends, with Uriah and them. You know,
Abraham was
he wasn't
Uriah,
Abraham
getting
was
rid of
at
them.
that point in time,
He was making a
Uriah,
covenant with them over and over. David was. That's the key here. And everybody that's serving David is telling Israel to give their bread away. That's the problem. That's why everybody's confused. That's why there's, and what does Numbers 33:56 tell us? If you don't get rid of them, then he'll do to Israel what he was going to do to Canaan. That was survival because of, Israel had to get rid of those people. They had made so many victims through the years.
I don't think Canaan was never supposed to get out of the land until the future. That's me personally.
Okay, but do you make peace with them until then? What do you do?
They just live in the land.
They
There's
just
always
live
gonna be people
there
that
and
just live in the land.
live in the land. No, that's not what God said. He said you can give them no quarter. He said there's no peace, no
No,
quarter, no
he
nothing.
said he was going no, he said he was gonna leave them in the land. And remember, it was those 7 Canaanite nations that God destroyed. It tells you he destroyed them, and then it tells you the rest of them was going to be living in the land, and he was going to keep them in the land. He wasn't going to take
yeah,
them
they're
out all
going to
at
be a
one time.
snare. They say they're going to be a snare to us
Okay, yeah.
because we didn't wipe them out.
Exactly. So if they're living in the land and you're intermarrying with them, like David was married to Bathsheba and all his other Canaanite
Bathsheba,
wives.
why you say intermarry with Bathsheba? Bathsheba wasn't a Canaanite.
No, she was Ahithophel's granddaughter. Ahithophel was a Hivite.
No, wait.
Yes,
Bathsheba, her father name is Eliam. He was an
and
Israelite. He was a Hebrew. He
no,
wasn't no hit. Where you get
Ahithophel was a Canaanite. That's her
Ahithophel ain't got nothing
granddaddy.
to do with Bathsheba.
Yes, it does. That's her granddaddy's son was her daddy. He was a Hivite. There was
Ahithophel was
Gibeonite.
a
Okay,
so,
listen. They were letting Hivites call themselves Gibeonites. Read Samuel. Gibeonite was not a Israelite. He was a Hivite. They were letting people do that all over the place and say that they were Israelites, and they what? It
so
was just
Ahithophel you're saying is not an Israelite.
Ahithophel was not an Israelite. David
Well,
was
you
surrounded
gotta
by
show me that
Canaanites
book.
all over the place. He had them everywhere. And so, I mean, what did God say? If they intermarried with them, if they served their gods like Solomon did, Leviticus 20 tells us, you know, if someone serves Moloch and you look the other way, even if you're sojourning in the land of Israel, God is going to kill your whole family for that. You had to stone him. Well, it tells you right there, Solomon served Moloch. He served Ashtoreth. He
Yeah,
had all those Canaanite wives.
I agree. I agree to what you're saying about they did it. It was a lot of stuff going on with Israelites and the other nations, and Israelites and the Canaanites. But I don't think that's good enough to say that you just throw all them away.
It's not gonna get thrown all away. What'll happen, and this is what people don't want to hear, is what Isaac said. When Edom grows restless, they're going to break the yoke off. And then what'll
Mhm.
happen is that Edom's going to have the blessing. It's a pendulum. The blessing that Israel got is going to go back to Edom. And then Israel's going to have Edom's old blessing. And Israel's going to have to live by their sword. They're still going to have to keep their mitzvahs. They're still going to have to be circumcised and everything. But the birthright is theirs. You know what I mean? And they're going to have to kill Canaan. That's what they're going to do to survive. And then they're going to have the final battle is going to be with Amalek.
So,
That's what's going to happen.
so are you saying because you're Edom, you feel like the blessings and stuff is with Edom now? That's what you're saying?
I already feel it's already with me. You know what I mean? That it's already happened. That Israel's going to wake up real soon. That, and what is Edom going to do? They're going to charge Israel with what Moses told them to do. You know, and what was the blessing of now when I say Edom, I'm not talking about Rome at
You talking
all.
about you talking about the Jews?
Uh, Jews, well,
Who you
the
who you
Jews,
who you believe are the Edomites today?
I don't know exactly who all the Edomites. God's gonna, it's gonna be like obvious. He's gonna,
So how you
things are
know
gonna.
how you know you're Edomite?
I don't know. I don't know. I know. I just kind of know. I know. You know what I mean? I just kind of know. I know. I've had some miraculous things happen to me that you probably wouldn't believe. But
I mean,
that's led me to all this.
I've met one other person that claimed to be a Hebrew Edomite, and he had the same kind of doctrine about Edom and stuff like that. But I
Well,
mean,
everybody wants to get into, well, Esau got cheated and stuff. Esau didn't get cheated. The
so
same reason that Israel's in trouble is what happened to
what
Esau.
what do
That's
you
why,
feel about the judgments of Edom? Do you think, like, let's say all this you're saying is cool when Israel gets back on top from under their curses? Do you believe Edom is going to get punished?
well, yeah, Edom's going to get punished. I mean, it's all happening because so many of the Edomites, they run after the Canaanites, just like Esau. You know what I mean? There's only going to be a few guys. But
So
the way
I got
Israel
can
gets going to get, I'm sorry.
remember what you said? Ahithophel was a Gilonite from out the city of Gilo. Gilo is a city in Judah. So you're saying he wasn't an Israelite. He
There
wasn't a
were,
Hebrew,
there were,
which is false.
they were everywhere. There were Kenites living in
No, but
Judah's
you're saying
territory.
you
There were
said
Hivites.
Ahithophel was not a Hebrew, was not an Israelite. That's false. You have to go through and read the passage, see where Gilonite comes from, and then you can say where he's from or where he came from. Gilonite comes from the city of Gilo, which is a city in Judah, brother. He was an
That's the way
Israelite. He was a
that's the way
Hebrew.
Canaanites do it. You know what I mean? They dress up as other people, and then they pretend to be
That's your
Israelites. They pretend to
terminology.
be Romans. They pretend to be many things. But what way it's going to happen is like this, in my point of view, is that the way Israel's going to get back on top is they're going to have to grow restless. It's the same thing that he told Esau. What he told Isaac is now to what Isaac told to Esau is now to Israel. Esau's going to be on top again, and
But
then
where
whenever
you
they get
get this,
tired of
where
it,
you get this from though? Where you get this from? Because
this is in
if
Genesis.
you only hold to the first 5 books, right?
Yeah.
If you only hold to the first 5 books, where is like the prophecy of the end times and all that stuff that talks about the Edomites and all that?
Well, you just look at the blessing in itself. It's a back and forth blessing. It's the same blessing almost, except one says your mother's sons will serve you, and then the other one says you'll live by your sword. So that's how Esau started out, and then we were supposed to serve Israel, and instead the Amalekites, they attacked them, they didn't let
But
the Israelites
they
pass.
did serve Israel though. King
Well,
David,
not really.
King David conquered them, put garrisons on them.
David
They
don't count, brother. He's in league with. Think about this.
you gotta stop
David's.
saying that,
I'm
man.
telling you. Listen, David's grandmother was Rahab, the Canaanite. He's already a foreigner. Israel could not intermarry with Canaanites, and then his mother, Ruth, that he had, she wasn't all those generations removed that she needed to be. I mean, David wasn't. He was an
I think
outsider.
she was about 10 generations or more.
No, it was just the other day from
No, it
Ruth
was
to
about,
David.
if we go to her genealogy, it was about 10 generations.
No, not from David to. I mean, Obed, Jesse, and then David.
It was
Obed was Ruth's baby. I
that's
mean,
still
yeah,
it's about 10 from David till from Moses. That's about 10 generations. That was.
well, I'm going by
They
the
was.
time that
Oh, you said from the time she was introduced around the people that it should have been
yes,
10 generations.
Boaz's mother was a Canaanite, and then Obed's mother was a Moabite. David wasn't even. I'm telling you, Samuel was a prophet sent to test Israel, just like Joshua was testing them. They were all testing them.
So you
It was.
saying David is not a Hebrew because his mother was a Moabite?
He was a Hebrew, but it was illegal for the Israelites to intermarry with the Canaanites at all.
Yeah, but later on, God accepted these people. The Most High accepted these people. All who accepted the Creator, He accepted them. He accepted Uriah the Hittite. He accepted Ruth. There was a lot of people and what caused the Most High to accept these people was because we did not fulfill the commandment of God. So therefore, the Creator left those people around. That's why.
Listen, that's calling Moses a liar right there. He said that
No,
under no
man.
circumstances could those people enter into the assembly. Under no circumstances. There was no quarter, no peace. It's all a test to see if you'll do it, if you'll give away your inheritance.
Nah, bro, blame.
Yes, Moses told you that prophets would come and they would do miracles, but in the end, they're leading you away. And the only thing you can do is use the
No,
law and say no.
you gotta phrase that. It said lead you away to a different God. They didn't. None of the
That's
prophets in
exactly
the
what it
Tanakh.
did.
What
That's what
what
it's
prophets in
gonna
the
do.
Tanakh? What prophets in the Tanakh led us to a different God, or told
Listen,
us to worship a different God? Then
well, I'll
you'll
tell
hear
you
why.
how. Because listen, you're saying that there was some Canaanite girls we could intermarry with, but Moses told you if you do that, they will draw your heart away to serve other gods. So any prophet telling you that it's okay to get with some of those Canaanite girls, they automatically are introducing your heart to be divided away from God.
What
Right there.
what prophet told us to go be with Canaanite women?
Well, if they're acknowledging David, they did it right there.
But just
Huh?
like David wasn't perfect, so just because David did something
It
or
wasn't
did something
David's
wrong
fault.
doesn't mean that doesn't mean he's
But
illegitimate.
I think you got to distinguish between a Canaanite and a Canaanite who keeps Torah.
There's no such thing, brother. Canaanites were not allowed to keep Torah. No way.
Why can't any person say I want to follow the Most High? How does it make any sense?
Because the Israelites were down there for
The
40
Hittites.
years. Why didn't they just circumcise themselves and say we give up?
Who
The
in
Canaanites. Remember,
Egypt?
they had 40 years.
Again, I mean, but I don't think that just because most of them, the majority of them don't, I don't think that's relevant, right? It's not the point. I agree that it's an anomaly for these people to want to follow the Most High, right? I mean, the children of Israel don't want to follow him, right? So I agree that the other nations, it's even worse. But that doesn't mean
You are
that
watching
a
Torah After Dark.
Canaanite,
Hit the like button
Edomite
and subscribe.
can't submit themselves to the Most High, cleave to the covenant to the children of Israel, and come along, right? I don't see why that's prohibited.
Well, it's against the law, and because of the people that they had murdered all those years. Remember,
But
going
see,
from
when you say it's
Abraham.
against the law, though, it's talking about Canaanites who are still living like Canaanites, because a Canaanite who has accepted the Torah is not considered a Canaanite anymore. He's grafted into Israel. So yes, I agree. But one thing to point out is Esau went and intentionally married people he shouldn't marry, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So when Gadol said, where is the
You
judgment of
funny.
Edom in Genesis? So when Esau and Jacob are born, how did that go?
Jacob was holding on to his foot.
His heel.
I call him Israel. I don't like to call him Jacob.
Hold on, but would it be fair then? So like, if Jacob was holding on to Esau's heel, would it be fair to say that Jacob was Esau's heel? Was Jacob Esau's heel? So go to Genesis. Let's go to Genesis now and look at 3:15. Everyone wants to pretend that's Christ, right? But think about it. Your seed, I will put enmity between your seed and her seed, right? Your seed being the snake, those who question the word of God. We see Esau going and marrying people that he shouldn't marry and doing all the things. Clearly, the Edomites, Esau, they don't follow Torah. They question the word of God. That's their seed. Her seed is those who keep Torah, right? And look at what it says. He will crush your head. So those that keep Torah will crush your head. Esau, Edom, but you will strike his heel. And think about Jacob's trouble. Think about Jacob's current position, right? That to me is the prophecy of Esau, Edom being dealt with at the end of time.
But look at the picture you're painting. You're saying that Edom is locked into this thing where Canaanites can actually join the family of God to crush Israel's family's head. You know what I'm saying? It's like they're allowed.
Well, they're all Confederate. But you got to look at each. So the thing is, like, you got to look at the prophecies. And this is the thing, like, when people argue that Esau, Edom is not the white man, right? How can we argue that? All we have to do is go to Amos 1:11, read the description of Amos 1:11, how Esau, Edom thinks, and then look at history. What
Okay,
everyone wants to
Marah.
look at history, right? But we don't want to look at history and
Look
see
at
how it's white people chasing black people throughout history. We can't see that. It's repeating.
I agree, brother. It's against the law.
Look at First Samuel. Look at First Samuel chapter 16, where it describes the complexion of King David. He said King David was ruddy. When you look up the definition of ruddy, it says Edom, which means
Again.
King David had the same complexion as Esau. Esau was not. King David wasn't white.
But again, forget about, so like ignore, because I understand people look at the red and hairy, and I agree that's not conclusive. That's not what I'm basing it off. I'm basing it off of something very simple. Where are the children of Israel in captivity currently?
Where does it say Edom was going to have children of Israel in captivity?
The blessing, what he mentioned, he's right about that. The King James really butchers the blessing, but if you read the blessing to Esau, it says he's gonna rebel and and put his, basically take Jacob's yoke off of him. He's right. Flip it over. He puts his yoke on Jacob, and think about, that's why it
Okay,
says in
so
Jeremiah
when do we
30
have the
verse 7,
white
I will
man?
break their yoke.
When do we have the white man enslaved?
When did the white man enslave you?
No, did we have the white man in slavery? Or when do we rule over the white man? That's all.
Well, so I know that again, this is in Jasher. Esau attacks Israel while they're in Egypt, but I don't know if that results in their bondage. I don't know, but I'm assuming it has to
No,
be
I know
present.
King David ruled over the Edomites. I know King
Okay,
David, a
there you
couple
go.
of kings, but I'm
There you
asking you, but we can't say the Edomites were white in that time period.
Again, that's not. I'm not saying that.
If
And
we're saying
again,
the
like,
white man is the Edomites, when did we rule over the white man?
I'm not saying that the yoke is busted yet. It's not even actually happened, is what I'm saying. It's
oh, it's
about
about to
to
get
happen.
worse. No, it's
It's about to get
Jacob's trouble
no.
is about to start, and then the yoke will be
Jacob's
busted.
trouble. Jacob's trouble is that he's going to end up losing that blessing, and then he's going to have to go and fight and do like he was told, and it's going to be Edomites that are going to be that have the top blessing. And then when Edom corrupts itself again, Israel's going to break the yoke.
I
Then
mean, who do
No,
you
this
believe
is
the Israelites are? If you,
I don't know who the Israelites are. God is going to do something, and there's going to be no denying who's who. That's
we
what's
know.
going to
So,
happen.
but we all we have to do is go to Deuteronomy 28:68. Show me which people were taken back into bondage with ships. Who is that? It's very clear. How can we deny that? And then look at Genesis 9:27. The prophecy makes it very clear. God will enlarge Japheth, and Japheth will dwell in the tents of Shem. Shem is the chosen lineage. The majority of the Jews in the world today are Ashkenazi Jews. Ashkenaz is Japheth's grandson. That's clear prophecy, right? That's clear as day. Like there's a group of people pretending to be the children of Israel. My people. It's
Those are
my people pretending to
Canaanites.
be it. Whoever they are, it's not the children of Israel. Because let's pretend it was my people. Fine, we were slaves in Egypt. Okay, show me where my people were taken back into bondage with ships. If you point to World War II, it was trains, right? It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist, and that's the thing. Like you have to, and I think that's why it's that deception about
we got
pretending.
10 more minutes. 10 more
I just
minutes.
want to, and this comes back to what I was saying. I brought this up to you, Igadal, about the affliction. The children of Israel weren't afflicted in Egypt for 400 years. They want you to think that, so you don't realize that 400 years that he promised to Abraham is the final captivity. It's the Daniel 7:19, the final beast that stamps out the residue, right? It's a ruthless captivity, right? It's Judah's punishment. It's Judah's punishment. And what did he say he was going to do to Judah, right? And that's what it is. And when you realize that fact, that's when I think you can
I'm about to
understand
go to
that
bed too.
it's Esau. Esau is the empire that's currently has the yoke on the children of Israel. That's what I think. What their complexion was in the past, I don't know. I do think it was
I think
interesting.
it's Canaan that has the yoke on them, to be honest.
No,
But
you can't.
but be honest, the only way out of this is if Moses isn't dead. Because if you go back to Deuteronomy, he has to be the one to take credit for the covenant with the Canaanites. That's why he did it. That's Israel's only hope is that Moses is not dead.
Okay, so I would
Because
just say, so Moses is definitely dead, but he will come back. But remember, David is the Messiah, so I would be careful though, because you don't want to blaspheme his name too much, because he's going to be leading the second Exodus. Hallelujah,
All
brothers.
right,
I'll see you later.
all right. Indeed. Before y'all go, shalom. If y'all want one last minute to put the cap on y'all point, I get 1 minute. So who want to go first?
I already said that's what I wanted to say. That this, if you look at what Moses did, this whole thing with peace with Canaan, it starts with him. He took credit for it. If he's dead, then it's over. Numbers 33:56 is enacted, and that there just won't be any Israel. But I think Moses is not dead. That's what I think.
All right,
We will see
indeed.
Moses again.
Indeed, man. Shalom. Thanks for stopping by Torah After Dark. We're here every night at 8:30. Every Friday is Smoke Friday. You're welcome to come back. All right, Shalom. You want one last thing you want to say?
Hey, I really appreciate the time, man. And if anyone's interested, I've started my own podcast. First episode just went live, Jeremiah 16:16. And I'm going to come this week with Deuteronomy 33:26. I think you're really going to enjoy that.
What's the link? What's the link, man? Put the link in the
Oh.
chat, man.
Oh, hold on.
Put the link in the chat.
Does it link? Can I link? Can I send a link in the chat like that?
Is it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah, just copy the link,
right now.
put it in the chat, man.
All right, hold on. Episode 1.
Maybe I could come on yours and cut you up on your own.
Yeah, anytime, man. Anytime. Yeah. I've really been enjoying our conversations. Does that work? Did
Did you put it in the link?
I think so, right? Let's see. If not, I'll put it over here.
No, put it in the comment section I'm talking about.
Yeah, I did. I think it's lagging.
No, I don't see nothing popping up.
See, I don't think it lets me. Here, I'm going to send it to you here.
You are watching Torah After Dark. Hit the like button and subscribe.
In case y'all want to go hear some bugged out doctrine, make sure y'all go check his podcast.
I'm gonna lay it all out. I'm gonna lay it out from the beginning.
Some bugged out doctrine. All right, man. Good having you, man.
I love you, man.
All right, love you too. You're always welcome. All right, shalom.
Okay.
All right. That was Smoke Friday, man. I'm tired, man. It's late for me. I'm about to go get in bed. Hope y'all enjoyed yourself. Hope y'all enjoyed look, I'm tired. I'm tripping. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. Got to listen to some dialogue between me, couple brothers, some good convo. Sometime it got heated, sometime it didn't, sometime it was cool. But that's what Smoke Friday is about. People bring their understandings to the table and we discuss them. Sometimes they get challenged, sometimes they don't. All right, so a lot of arguments sometimes. I don't think it'd even be worth challenging or going after it because a lot of people don't have. Again, when people just have their own stuff they make up in their mind, and you pull them to one text, they're not going to believe that text. You pull them to this text, and sometimes it's just pointless, right? But good discussion, good discussion. I'm tired. I'm ready to go to bed. Shabbat Shalom, Lila Tov. I will catch you guys tomorrow at 8:30 for night 7 of Torah After Dark. Right? All praise to the Most High. If you didn't like the live, make sure you like the live. If you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe. You are watching Torah After Dark.
You are watching Torah After Dark.
I'm
Hit the
tired.
like button and subscribe.
I'm sleepy. Hope you guys sleep well. Hope you guys wake up tomorrow on the Shabbat feeling good and feeling refreshed. All right. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Shalom, shalom, shalom. I am Gadol HaGadol, and this is Torah After Dark. Shalom. Welcome to Torah After Dark, where scriptures meet the real world, raw and unfiltered. This isn't your typical Bible study. We're diving deep into the Torah, the prophets, and today's world, from prophecy and exile to politics, culture, and controversy. I'm Gadol HaGadol, a Black American student of the Torah, bringing straight truth with no filters, no fluff, and no fear. We stream regularly because Torah doesn't clock out. Whether it's the law of exile, prophecy breakdowns, or what's really going on in the news, we're bringing it back to the Torah. Got any questions, topics, or want to debate live? Hit the inbox or email gadolhagadol@gmail.com. Also, subscribe to the channel, like the live, and join the membership for exclusive breakdowns, biblical challenges to Christian claims, and teachings you won't hear anywhere else. This is Torah After Dark, for the people still seeking truth, even when the world turns their lights off. Let's get into it.